Another beautiful day for baseball out here in the state capitol as the Perrysburg Yellow Jackets and the Lakota East Thunderhawks both going for their first state Division I baseball championship. BCSN HD brought to you by Nationwide Auto Finance, the biggest zero-interest lot in the region for everyone. Greg Franke along with Rick Poland here again. Jordan Strack will once again be down on the field. And Rick, the big question from Perrysburg's standpoint is, will they be able to get up again after perhaps the most dramatic victory that has ever been seen in the BCSN era to get here in their win over Willoughby South?
Well, I think the consensus is that they will be ready here today. They've had a day to enjoy that come from behind victory on Thursday, and also had some time then to start to adjust and get themselves mentally prepared for the championship game, and I think they're up to the task. Going into this tournament, many people felt that if Perrysburg could get through to the championship game, they would be in good position because they've got such an outstanding number 2 starter, if you want to call him that, and Matt Krusel, an ERA of .8 throughout the year. He'll be starting the left-hander for Perrysburg. And Matt Garbick, boy, what a performance, a game-winning hit in the Willoughby South victory after a 3-run homer to break up the Strongsville game in the regional final. Yeah, that's a good 1-2 punch, especially with Matt Krusel. Left-hander, has a good fastball, good breaking pitch, and he does have a history of being able to come up big in big games. And we'll see if someone can duplicate Garbick's heroics here today, trying to bring a state championship to Perrysburg. Let's take a break. We'll be back with it coming up on BCSN.
What's up? Yeah, he's just got his toys in here. Oh, good Lord. You've got to be kidding me.
Small children slip out of their homes and wander the streets alone. Don't assume that a locked door will keep your child safe. It's your responsibility. Lucas County Children's Services offers tips to keep your child safe and secure.
Hi, I'm Marianne Ballas, inviting you to visit us at ballasbuickgmc.com. Our new and used vehicle inventory is current and ready to browse with credit applications available for pre-approval. Make a service appointment, view our accessories catalog, or make a parts inquiry. Our site is easy to navigate and you can shop 24/7, 365 without pressure. Shop Ballas Buick GMC. World-class cars and trucks, world-class website.
Hey, if you haven't been watching R&R lately,
you're crazy. Forget the Browns. Forget the Browns.
Knock you off the back of the chair.
Danica Patrick, Tony Dungy, Jim Jackson, how are you tonight?
I think Norm Van Ness is going to punch my lights out.
Catch R&R every Thursday at 7 p.m. on BCSN.
Charlie's Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. Doing it different, doing it right. Experience car buying at its best at Charlie's, your full-service dealer. Now selling and servicing Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, and Ram. Charlie's is stocking over 200 new vehicles. Now that's some extensive inventory. Cars, vans, sport utilities, and trucks. Your buying experience will never be better than at Charlie's. You'll be impressed by the dealership and amazed with the difference. It's Charlie's Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram on the corner of Illinois and Ford, Maumee.
Welcome to the new Appliance Center Home Store, the greatest furniture showroom in Ohio. We're the area's Tempur-Pedic mattress headquarters. Plus, T. Simmons, Rustonic, and more. Choose from over 200 mattresses in stock. Right now, all Tempur-Pedic mattresses include free bed frames and pillows. Plus, 2 years same as cash on select mattresses. Free same-day delivery, setup, and recycling. The new Appliance Center Home Store, Ohio's greatest home furnishing destination.
BCSN, available exclusively on Buckeye Cable System, is presented by The Andersons, more for your home. Yark Automotive, just what you're looking for. And by Banner Mattress and Furniture.
Back out at Huntington Park, the two teams have been introduced prior to the game, and as we did before the previous game, let's go down to Jordan Strack for pregame thoughts from Coach Dave Hall.
All right, guys, with Dave Hall, just before you guys throw the first pitch here, I asked you this the other day, but where are the emotions now that it's a state championship game?
I think we're a little bit nervous, but I think kids will be okay.
Talk about the other day. Could you have made a more Hollywood script than what happened the other day for you guys?
No, it's on the fiction list. There's no way. We pulled that one out. Kids believed, but that's why baseball's such a great game. It's 21 outs. It's not a time clock.
Yeah, you guys all have talked all year about your pitching depth. You got Matt Krusel today. How much has that depth helped you all year, and how confident are you with this guy on the mound?
I'm very confident, and I'm very confident with the guy we got in the bullpen, and Alex Williams. I think we got two guys to match up the way we need to today.
All right, go get him, Dave.
Thanks.
All right, guys, back up to you.
So Matt Krusel does inherit the job of trying to bring home the state championship, and it really emphasizes the need for pitching depth as Alex Schmenk had a gutsy pitching performance in the semifinal victory, and you have to have somebody strong to come back to if you're going to go all the way.
Well, and they do have that, and Matt Krusel, you know, the good off-speed pitch, good curveball, and I thought it was a pretty good point, too, about Williams being a good backup.
Take a look at the batting order for Lakota East. I'm going to start off with shortstop J.D. Wetzel. Jarrett Reinflesh, who had a big game, as did center fielder Jesse Raitt in the semifinal win for Lakota. Alexa Corna in right field, Mitch Gears at first, Craig Thompson second base, Blake Wilder at third, Brian Evans at DH, and Zach Kloney will be the left fielder. For the Thunderhawks, looking for their first team state championship since Lakota broke up into East and West in 1997. First pitch of the game is ball one. Krusel, hard throwing lefty, comes in with 85-mile-an-hour fastball and misses wide for ball two. Wetzel, a .347 hitter, and a very capable leadoff man. He takes that one for a strike. Wetzel is going to play at Cornell University, so he'll be an Ivy Leaguer this time next year. Play for the Big Red. That one fouled off, and 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Good fastball there. He's got his fastball about low to mid-80s right now. A little bit of adrenaline. Got to get rid of some of that a little bit.
Sometimes there's going to be some control issues. It's early in the game, and this has actually been the thing for Krusel, is that if he's had an Achilles heel, it's been the first couple innings. And if he gets through those first couple innings in good shape, then very often he basically becomes unhittable. So we'll watch what happens here in the early going.
Sometimes that becomes a little mental, too.
And there's ball 4, one of those dreaded leadoff walks. And he wasn't too happy about it.
Well, again, I think just the magnitude of the game, Greg. First batter of the game, and maybe overthrowing just a little bit, or trying to overthrow a little bit. He said, well, maybe we'll change baseballs, and that will solve my problem. And you know, that's good. You know, you're giving yourself a little breath right here. Okay. The change of the baseball probably wasn't all that important to him, but he thought he knew that he needed to take a little break here and refocus himself.
It's like wiping your skate blade when you fall down.
Yeah.
That must have been the reason. And he gets composed a little bit, throws it over. Of course, Alex Schmenk, what a pitching performance, a courageous pitching performance in yesterday's game, or in the semifinal game on Thursday. Coach said that he's never been hit as hard as they were hitting him. Well, that ball bounced into first base on the pickoff attempt. And he ended up getting to the point, Schmenk, in that game where he had to pitch backward, the coach said, basically relying on his breaking pitch primary to his fastball. And he did just a great job regrouping. And hopefully Krusel won't get to the point where he has to do that. But Schmenk has shown the way in that situation. A fastball for a strike on the inside corner there to Reinflesh. Reinflesh is just a sophomore. He's a team leader and a catcher, a key position on the team, and just a very young player.
Well, what a future he has.
Well, they got the runner caught between first and second. If they can get the throw down in time, no, he's safe.
Well, he went up with the right hand first, didn't he?
Look at the umpire. I thought that certainly the ball arrived first. I was waiting for the outside, and they're still waiting for it. A long look by Alex Schmenk over there at the umpire. Take a look.
He made this. Oh yeah, he had him. He got him on the forearm, and he signaled that he tagged him on the shoulder. So he did not see the tag because he signaled tag on shoulder. That tag was on the forearm before he got to the bag.
And not just a stolen base, but the fact that they had him picked off. And he had a good jump though and good speed, so it wasn't a foregone conclusion that they were going to get him at second, but it certainly looked like they had an excellent shot at him.
You did what you're taught to do when you're picked off like that from the left-handers, is put your head down and go as fast as you can and try to beat that relay or force a bad throw. But Perrysburg played it right.
Inside, he's claiming he was hit, but is not going to win that argument, and that's a good thing because that was just a waste pitch for ball one. I mean, I think that discussion's not going to quite end here at this point.
And the home plate umpire checked with the first base umpire for help on that, and the home plate umpire said no, it did not hit the batter.
Coach Ray Hamilton was questioning it. Lakota East, 2 consecutive years, have won the very tough Greater Miami Conference. That ball blocked by Colby in the dirt. Good job there. Now it's Perrysburg's turn to appeal, and they got it. Strike 3. And again, you almost look at that as a makeup call.
Well, there was a lot of hooting and hollering on that check swing right there, and they're on the first base side, Perrysburg, so they could see. That was the pitch before. That was where he thought he was hit by the pitch. That wasn't the last pitch on the check swing.
2 consecutive rather controversial pitches, and ball 1 to Jesse Raitt, who crashed a home run. They're not really a power hitting team. That's just the 3rd homer for him this year, and Lakota East has been more of a pitching and defense oriented team. But he hit a timely shot when the situation arose as Lakota overcame Grove City and their healthy contingent of fans yesterday, including that fine Grove City girls cheering section they had behind home plate. Seemed like all of Grove City was at that ball game.
Yeah, a good part of them anyway, and they did have a very good cheering section right behind home plate.
The fellow students. 2-0. Krusel still trying to find his control, and now it's 3-0.
Well, Rhineflesh and Raitt are probably their 2 top hitters. They had 4 hits yesterday, 4 out of their 10 hits. They're the guys that you have to quiet their bats.
Their top 5 is really the heart of their order. All 4, that's 2 walks now in 3 batters, and the 3rd was a strikeout. But here we go. Schmenk struggled early in the semifinal, and now Krusel off to a slow start here, as we said, has been his case throughout the year, and Coach Dave Hall going to come out early to try to settle him down.
Well, a different kind of struggle here. This is a control problem. The other day, Schmenk was just getting tattooed by some good hitters with his fastball, and he was able to make the adjustment midstream, and a great effort on his part to do that, and go to his secondary pitches, try to keep him off balance.
Well, guys, I'm tracking pitches down here in the dugout. 9 balls so far, just 5 strikes for Matt Krusel. And if you pay attention to Dave Hall throughout a ball game, he's got an entire sheet in his hand, and he'll call out a series of numbers, and then you'll see Zach Colby, the catcher. He looks down at a wristband, almost like a quarterback, and that's how he's able to keep track of pitches. But so far, the command has been an issue. Maybe a little bit of nerves here early on.
Jordan Strack, we're going to go down to him during the course of the ball game for some extra spice on the commentary.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt that at all. I'm sure there's a lot of extra nerves out there, and because he has a history of that becomes a mental thing, and it kind of carries with you out to the mound before you start the game.
Runners off, high fastball swung on, missed down at 3rd. This time they got him, and it's Wetzel's turn to protest the call. I think they had him dead to rights. Rate advances to second base, plus a swing and a miss, and all of a sudden it's not a bad situation for Krusel.
Well, I may disagree with you maybe because I thought that he got his hand in there before the tag. It's really close. He got him on the hip.
Well, it's almost a dead reverse of the last one. This time it looked like you thought he tagged him on the forearm and maybe he got him on the hip. Anyway, it evens out.
Either way, it's 2 outs and a runner on second.
Perrysburg's had the benefit of 2 calls in this first inning, that one and also the 3rd strike on the appeal, as now Alex Corna, the batter, a 381 hitter. Mitch Gears on deck as their leading average man at 414. Still a runner in scoring position. It's not time to exhale. And now you can exhale, at least for this inning. A great breaking ball for strike 3 call. No score. Perrysburg coming up in the state championship game.
Celebrate savings this Memorial Day with Banner's Made in America sale. Queen size panel bed made in Galax, Virginia, just $469. Dual reclining sofa made in Pontotoc, Mississippi, just $7.99. Or make it into a sectional for only $20.99. England sofa exclusively at Banner from New Tazewell, Tennessee, only $679. Save up to $600 on select Banner mattresses made right here in Toledo. Plus, get up to 48 months of interest-free financing. See store for details at all 6 Banner locations.
I've seen so many people whose lives have been changed in an instant.
Whether a defective product, a construction, semi, or auto accident, their lives changed forever.
Someone else was responsible, and innocent lives were torn apart. It's just not right.
That's why I'm so committed to what I do.
I'm an attorney with Gallon Tackus, Boyce & Alton Schaefer.
We fight to protect our clients and their families' rights to compensation, now and for the future.
Seriously injured? Call us. We can help.
Ready for the Perrysburg first. They got a very large contingent of Perrysburg fans here in the stands. And on a Saturday at 10 o'clock, you still have to get up early if you don't come the night before to Columbus, but at least it's not the same as having to do it in the middle of the week. And they'll see what their team can do against Evan Hills for Lakota East. Let's take a look at the Perrysburg batting order. Alex Schmink leading off, the second baseman. Matt Garbick, the hero from the semifinal. Third base, Matt Krusel, the pitcher. Zach Colby, the catcher. Steve Slocum in center field. Hunter Smith, the DH, a big home run in that semifinal victory. Ryan Young in right field. Kevin Schenk, the shortstop. A.J. Stockwell at first base. And the pitcher is Evan Hills for Lakota East. And very similar to the situation with Perrysburg, as he did not pitch in the victory in the semifinal game and is not officially what you'd call the number 1 starter. That was Mike Conrad, but he's going to pitch at the University of Cincinnati next year, so he's no slouch at all. 8-3 with a 1.52 ERA.
No, they have to feel very confident starting their right-hander against a Perrysburg team, Greg, that has a lot of left-handed hitters, so they have to feel good about the fact that they're seeing a right-handed pitcher here today.
Outside corner strike. Coach Hall was very definite about saying that if there is one potential, I don't call it weak spot, but difficulty for Perrysburg has been against left-handed pitching. And so he was happy that they were going against a right-hander in the last game, and I'm sure again in this game. Got a lot of left-handed batters in their lineup. You're going to have to throw down to first there to complete the strikeout against Alex Schmink. And there is one away. Take a look at the defense now for Lakota East. Jarrett Reinflesh is the catcher. Mitch Gears at first, Craig Thompson at second, Blake Wilder at third, shortstop J.D. Wetzel. Outfield, Zach Klani, Jesse Raitt, Alex Corna. And a ball to Matt Garbick.
And he started Garbick off with a breaking pitch on first pitch.
Strike there. Garbick had knee surgery after last season. He was 6 months in rehab. There was some question whether he'd even be able to play this year. And after his heroics in the regional final against Strongsville with a 3-run homer and that hit in the last game. I'd say it's a pretty good thing that he recovered and got to play his senior year at Perrysburg.
He's got to be real happy the way things have turned out to this point for sure.
Big cut there, but missed. 2 consecutive Ks posted by Evan Hills.
Well, and he's coming with the heat. Started him off with a breaking pitch, and then he's been pounding the strike zone with his fastball. They don't have so far the radar gun has not. There's a 77 up there now. The radar gun wasn't working during Garbig's at bat, so we couldn't get the speed on his fastball.
Perrysburg, they told us that they had word that the pitcher for Willoughby South in the previous game, as that is taken for ball 2, Willoughby South's pitcher Cameron Knott threw in the 90s. Then the game started and he was in the low 80s, and they thought, oh, maybe we can do something with him. Ground ball deep in the hole. It's short. It's going to be a long throw, and not in time. Krusel has himself an infield hit, and perhaps Wetzel letting that ball take an additional bounce cost him the time necessary to get the out.
Well, I checked down there in the field before the game, Greg, to see how hard that surface was, and it's a pretty hard surface, short grass, and this ball takes big hops. That ball almost ended up in the left field. That was going to be a tough play. He had to throw that ball from deep in the hole, and he gave the first baseman that long hop, which is the one they don't like.
Maybe if he'd have charged the ball, he would have had a chance, but it still would have been a tough play no matter how you slice it. He might have had to short hop it instead of waiting for the big hop. Zach Colby, the cleanup batter, takes a strike. And Krusel, good speed, dives back in. Colby was 0 for 3 yesterday, so he's due for some production here in this game. .455 hitter. Perrysburg's leading batter on the season, both in average and power. He had 4 home runs on the season, and also RBI leader with 31. Fouled off there.
Well, he's throwing mid to upper 80s with his fastballs. He's got about a 10 mile an hour differential between his off-speed pitch and his fastball, which is just exactly what you want, right in that range. Keep those hitters off stride. But if he's not able to get that breaking pitch over or the off-speed pitch over, then you can just sit back and wait on that 87 mile an hour fastball and do some damage with it.
1-2 off-speed pitch, swung on, fouled out of play. And went for that hanging curve. It was a little out of the strike zone. Playing him straight away. They were playing Colby to pull rather severely yesterday. The runner is off, and they got him. A good jump for Krusel, but the throw was right on, and an easy tag to lay on, and the inning over. No score after 1.
Charlie's Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. Doing it different, doing it right. Experience car buying at its best at Charlie's, your full-service dealer. Now selling and servicing Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, and Ram. Charlie's is stocking over 200 new vehicles. Now that's some extensive inventory. Cars, vans, sport utilities, and trucks. Your buying experience will never be better than at Charlie's. You'll be impressed by the dealership and amazed with the difference. It's Charlie's Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram on the corner of Illinois and Ford, Maumee.
We'd like to introduce you to more. With more than 230 undergraduate majors and programs, the University of Toledo has a degree for you. And with more real-world experience through internships and research and more scholarship money, we make college an affordable investment. Plus, UT's proud tradition of Division I athletics and our beautiful campus mean a more fulfilling college experience. There are simply more reasons to create your future at the University of Toledo. Schedule a personalized visit to see and learn more.
No score after 1 here at Huntington Park in Columbus. And it looks like, who knows, we could have a pitcher's duel that should we anticipate with two teams that are primarily known for their pitching and defense. It may just come down to that. Well, that was a great throw by the sophomore catcher, Jared Reinflesch, to get Cruzel, who, it's more of a delayed steal, but a delayed reaction on the part of Lakota East, and it looked like, I thought from my vantage point, he had a very good chance of swiping that bag, but the throw was perfectly placed, and all he had to do was lay the glove on him.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be he was going to make it, or it would be a lot closer. I was surprised at how far out he was, because it was a delay. It looked like he had surprised them, but man, that arm on Reinflesch is very strong, and he couldn't outrun the arm of Reinflesch. That's what the problem was there.
Now Mitch Gears is the scheduled hitter. And he is top batter on the squad.
See how that affects Cruzel. He was late coming out of the dugout after that slide at second base. Kind of dirtied up his uniform a little bit, but you know, the pitcher has to, if you're pitching, you have to kind of regain your breath, build up your strength again.
Gears was a big hero last year and winning the first of the two consecutive Greater Miami Conference titles for Lakota East. He had a bases loaded full count single left to win an extra inning game, a come from behind win against Mason. And there is a slashing base hit right up the middle. And once again, the leadoff hitter is on for Lakota East.
Well, good piece of hitting there, just taking the ball right back to the pitcher. That's what you're trying to teach your hitters to do, hit it right back where it comes from. And he took that fastball right back through the middle.
Craig Thompson. Now this is the part of the order where they drop a little bit, and in fact precipitously in production. Thompson, a .228 hitter. The first five, the lowest average is .347. So here now they may try to move runners along. Squared the bunt there, a strike.
Now this is where you really want to make sure that you take care of business. If you're Matt Cruzel and Perrysburg Yellow Jackets, you don't want to set the table down here, and you don't want this part of the order to hurt you either.
Well, guys, one thing to pay attention to, when there's runners on base, Lakota East loves to run, and that was one thing that the Perrysburg coaching staff told Matt Cruzel before he took the mound today. Even if you just step off, that's a good thing, so don't worry about throwing over. Take a little bit extra time and pay attention to these base runners, because Lakota East loves to run.
Oh, that's another advantage that Cruzel will have, being a left-hand pitcher. He can see those guys at first base. But what happened when they tried to steal second, he didn't look at second base, and they almost caught Perrysburg by surprise. That's a good point, though, because you need to know the tendencies of the other team.
Well, Wetzel stole second, tried to steal third in the first inning, didn't succeed, but still they showed they were game for the attempt. That one fouled off the shoe top. It's been a real interesting postseason the last couple of years for this Lakota East team, and in the regular season. Last year they lost in the regional final after winning their conference in the, I should say, in the sectional final against Cincinnati Elder, but that is tough competition out there in that area. This year they were unranked after they'd been ranked as high as number 2 in the state last year. Vandalia Butler beat the number 1 ranked team in the state, Moeller, only to be beaten by Lakota East in the next round. And then Lakota East, does this sound familiar? They played Northmont in the Dayton area. No score for 11.5 innings. It was a 1-0 victory, and the run was scored in the bottom of the 12th. Seems like we saw something like that not too long ago.
One of those BCSN Classic games.
Perrysburg beating St. John's in the regional final. We mentioned they won last year in an extra inning game to win their league. They were actually up 5-0 in that game. Mason came back to tie them. Then they went up 9-5. Mason came back to tie them again. Then Mason forged into the lead in extra innings by 2 runs, and they got 3 in the last of the 8 to win that game. They've been a lot of pressure-packed games. That one is golfed into left center field. And Gears, speeding around third, he fell down. I don't know whether they held him up or he just slipped. But I thought he would have had a pretty good chance to score if he'd have kept going. But still, runners on second and third, and nobody out. And in a situation like that, maybe they thought the better of sending him.
Well, with nobody out, you want to make sure if you're going to be able to score from third base with that nice job out there in left field by Lee to cut that ball off and hit the cutoff man. But with nobody out, you're going to hold him up.
Greg, you're absolutely right. They actually the third base coach threw up the stop sign, and as Gears tried to stop, he slipped on the grass, and that's what caused him to fall.
High pop. Will it be deep enough to score? Catch is made out in right field, but a good throw in, and Gears will have to stay put. On the fine play by Ryan Young. He played a great second base yesterday, Ryan Young. Now he's in right field because Blake Schmeck not pitching. It's on second, and he made a fine play in right field and a good throw.
Not a whole lot of breeze here, but enough to make the flags furl a little bit, and they're blowing a little bit right to left. Probably held that ball up a little bit, but a nice throw there and a nice job there. The infield is in here. That shows you the importance. Oh, they are going to do the safety squeeze there, but
Perrysburg's going to be ready for that. They specialize in those squeezes. They won the St. John's game and the Ashland game by 1-0 scores with that maneuver. As we see Brian Evans, designated hitter, at the plate. High, hard one, swung on and missed. And we're talking about Ryan Young out there in right field. I think he probably was the most unsung hero in that semifinal game because they got 2 runs in the first inning, Willoughby South. He made 2 excellent defensive plays on second base that if he doesn't make, maybe it's 3 or 4 to nothing before that first inning is over. And they made that good throw in right field to maybe prevent a run. Strike at the knees. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Interesting, he squared around, pulled the bat back. Shows you the importance that Perrysburg places on runs here. They think that they need to pull the infield in here and keep this score down.
Strike 3 called, and he's back to the dugout. You know, the interesting thing is when they hold the runner at third because they got runners on second and third and nobody outs, but they're also into the thin part of their batting order. And now there's 2 outs, and they might want to say, hey, can we do over and go back to that play? We'll send him and see what happens.
Yeah, Krusel just caught him freezing with that pitch, and he's pitching rather confidently now to this part of the order. Listen, you want to go right at these guys, Greg.
I remember, you get through the first couple innings with Krusel. He almost puts it on Krusel control. That's been his custom this year. Big swing miss. He's just overpowering these batters at the lower part of the order right now. Zach Clowney at the plate, a 179 hitter.
Well, 86 with movement, and you don't want to speed these guys' bats up at all. You don't want to throw them off speed. He should come right back here with his good fastball.
When he does, Perrysburg fans are ready to jump to their feet there and applause of a 3rd strike.
87 mile an hour with movement just off the corner.
Comes right back in, that time just inside. Definitely moving his location around. 2-2.
He's throwing what he needs to throw. He's coming with the heat. He just missed with those last 2 pitches.
Kicks and deals outside again. First base is open, but if he loses Clowney, then bases are loaded for the leadoff hitter Wetzel.
You don't want to do that.
It would be a very dangerous situation. Here he was up 0-2, and he seemed to be in total charge of the batter. Now he's got to come in. He does, and a good job by Clowney fouling it off.
Well, Clowney has seen 3 really good fastballs in a row there, so he's seen the velocity and he's seen the movement. And on that pitch, when Krusel did get one over the plate, he was able to foul it off. So good piece of hitting there, but you're right. You do not, even though with first base open, you do not want to put him on for the top of the order. challenge him right here, make him use the bat.
Comes again, second base just over Schmenk's reach. And a huge 2 RBI hit for Clowney.
Well, and he extended that at bat with that by fouling off the pitch before, and he had seen 5 straight fastballs, so he was able to get the timing down.
Rick, that was 7 straight fastballs. You were mentioning it. At the beginning of that at bat, he was absolutely overmatched, could not catch up to it. By the time, though, he saw that 6th and 7th straight fastball, that's when he finally was able to get ahead of them and drive that ball the opposite way.
That's right. And it, with missing just off the corner with a couple of those, he wasn't going to do any damage earlier in that count. But you're right, Jordan. I thought the same thing. The more he saw that fastball, and then when he fouled that one off, that gave him even more confidence, because then he knew that he just had to start his swing just a little bit sooner than that, and he was able to, again, swing late but get good aluminum and hit it to right.
Except for the fact that it's early in the game as Wetzel fouls that one off. That's a level of heroics similar to what we saw yesterday. A 179 hitter steps up, down 0-2. Runners on base, a chance to drive them home. If he goes out, they waste a great opportunity. And as you guys were talking about, a great piece of hitting. He fouled off what would have been the 3rd strike. He worked an 0-2 count to 3-2. Then he went the opposite way for a base hit. That's for the number 9 hitter with a none too gaudy batting average.
But still, anybody that goes up there with a bat in his hand is dangerous.
Well, they got him caught again, and between first and second, but they throw it into left field. And Clowney will end up on 3rd base on the throwing error. And it looked like Perrysburg was on the brink of getting out of this inning. Now they're on the brink of being down 3-0.
Well, some teams will even do that on purpose, Greg, where they will take off before the pitcher makes a move to force him to throw the ball to first base, hoping that he throws it there slowly. You got to make a good, strong throw to first base, because then you're banking on the fact that it's a slow throw to first, and then the first baseman has to make a good throw to second and a tag. So you're making the defense make a lot of moves in a situation like that. Lou Brock was great at that. Lou Brock was great at deking those left-handed pitchers into throwing to first, and he would just take off and bank on his speed, getting him to second before the relay.
Krusel has got to really just concentrate on getting the batter right now and keep this score at 2-0. Comes with the strike. That is 1-2 count now on Wetzel, who walked his first time up. Krusel has allowed 3 hits and 2 walks here in the first 2 innings. So once again, those early inning blues striking, but there is a good breaking pitch to at least stop it at 2 runs. After 1.5, Perrysburg again down 2-0. We'll be right back.
You're looking for. Where can you go for Northwest Ohio and Southeast Michigan's largest selection of pre-owned vehicles under $10,000 or pre-owned luxury vehicles under $20,000? YarkAuto.com. Search over 2,000 new and pre-owned vehicles every day. Shop Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, Ram, Nissan, Subaru, BMW, Chevrolet, and Fiat. Plus, get pre-approved in seconds. You can even schedule your service appointment. Just click YarkAuto.com.
Want to achieve more with your money? PNC Virtual Wallet gathers your spending and saving in one place. Credit and debit purchases, checks, bills, and other financial information. It lets you see the details, as well as the big financial picture, so you can do more with your money. See what a complete view of your money can do for you at PNCVirtualWallet.com. PNC Bank, for the achiever in you.
Flags flying here and flapping in the breeze out toward left field at Huntington Park, so that will aid the right-handed hitters. You know, before the game, we were talking to Dave Hall. It's always very interesting to talk baseball with him, and he was saying that baseball is all about adjustments from at-bat to at-bat and from pitch to pitch. And we really saw that. You were talking about it with Clowney, the fact that he was able to adjust and calibrate to what he was seeing with Krusel coming in with those fastballs, and he went from being overmatched 7 pitches before to coming up with that clutch hit. And I think it's a real illustration, not in the way Coach Hall would have liked to see, but of what he was talking about the need to constantly be adjusting.
Yep. If you go to any batting cage in Toledo, watch kids go in there for the first time, 4, 5, 6 pitches maybe, and then eventually they get the speed of the machine, and they start making contact, and then bing, 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 they start hitting the ball. So that's just exactly what happened in that at bat. He saw several fastballs. Luckily for him, they were just off the plate. The umpire called them balls, but he was able to time each one of those. Then when he fouled one off, he got a little bit more timing, and then he knew he was going to see another fastball. He knew he just had to speed up the bat just a little bit more, and he did it. Hit it late again, but over the second baseman's head.
Took over and tracked down that foul. Zach Colby was up when Cruzel was thrown out stealing. It's like when Walter Johnson was pitching. They time it out in the sense that they finally figure out they got to start swinging before the ball's left his hand if they were going to have a chance to hit it. There's a chopper past first base. That was a makeable play. That won't go as an error. But I think certainly Mitch Gears will feel like he should have had that in his backhand.
Well, again, this infield's kind of hard. Look at that big hop right there at home plate, and then another scooting hop. This infield is really quick, Greg.
It's perhaps a good omen. Now Slocum's up. Of course, the way the wind going out toward left field, Perrysburg with those left-handed batters in their order maybe won't be able to take as much advantage of that as Steve Slocum hitting at 377.
But they do have the short porch here in right field.
Blazed out a nice bunt. Just took all the momentum off of that. And Colby gets down to second base. And that's Perrysburg. They're a chip away, get one run back at a time kind of team. And now Hunter Smith, who hit that towering blast over across the street in downtown Columbus and over that right field grandstand, is up now. And he tried to go the opposite way with that and fouled it off.
Chase that off-speed pitch, first pitch.
So guys
he must have been looking for it. He has started guys off with that off-speed pitch at about the same speed, 76.
That ball, like guys used to hit balls over the left field fence and bouncing into Bedford Avenue at Old Ebbets Field, crossing the street into the service station across the way. I don't know what they have over there, but I don't think any breakable windows nearby. He's down 0-2 in the count now, though. And he calls timeout.
Like most areas inside professional ballparks, everything is named by a sponsor. That one is the Wendy's Hamburger Balcony. And it must be a very good sight line because there's a lot of people watching there, and in the squares on the street, people walking through and walking by. And it's an enclosed area. You and I had a chance to walk by there, and they actually sold bricks in there that people could put their names on, and it's on the street. You can watch the game there for free in an enclosed area.
Ball on 2 strikes. That was an excellent waste pitch. It was out of the strike zone, but close enough that could tempt you into swinging. C. Hills wears number 13. He's not superstitious. He swung and missed, and for the second time they got to throw down to first to complete the out. Colby stays on second, and there's 2 away, and Ryan Young will step to the plate.
Well, you move the runner up to give yourself 2 shots to get a base hit to cut into this lead, and so right now there's 1 shot down. There's another shot left here. Perrysburg, I think, doing the smart thing here, just pecking away. Just go for 1 run. You're only down by 2 runs. It's early in the ball game. See if you can get yourself a chance to cut that lead in half.
If Cruzel does settle down the way he typically does after a couple of challenging innings, he'd be right there. swung on and missed by Young, but they can't afford, as they did in yesterday's game, to leave as many runners on base and to bypass as many opportunities as they did. They were fortunate to prevail in spite of that in the semifinal, but that's the kind of thing where lightning rarely strikes twice.
Yeah, you don't want to have to bank on that type of a comeback again. But then again, you've got the confidence that you know that you can do it.
And they were very confident even going into that 7th inning. And he got him waving. Again, they're going to have to throw on to first base, but that will do it. Perrysburg gets a runner to scoring position, but no further after 2-0, Lakota East.
What am I looking for in a university? Thousands in scholarship, caring faculty, campus activities, clubs and organizations, valuable mentors, on-campus events, lifelong friendships, small classes. The University of Findlay.
Come see what's new at the Anderson's Garden Centers. We scour the country, hand select the very best plants, and test grow them here, like these new proven winter shrubs for sun or shade. We offer more varieties of shade and fruit trees, ornamentals, exotics, and grasses than anywhere else. Why settle for one kind of maple when we have dozens? And our experts know every plant we sell. It's garden season, and we're ready to grow at the Andersons.
BCSN, available exclusively on Buckeye Cable System, is presented by PNC Bank, for the achiever in us all. Appliance Center, buy local, pay less at Appliance Center. And by Dallas Buick GMC, doing business with character.
Ready for the top of the 3rd. Lakota East with that 2-0 early advantage. A clutch hit by Zach Kalani when it looked as though Krusel might just wriggle out of trouble. Now he's really going to have to hit his stride for the remainder of the game. They're not going to be able to afford, in all likelihood, to fall further behind this Lakota East team.
Greg, I thought it was interesting. I was talking to Dave Hall before the game about the fact that this is another 10 a.m. game back-to-back. They have to play the 10 a.m. games, and he said he really doesn't mind it because they get to the hotel last night about 9 o'clock. They go right to bed. They wake up, feed him, and come straight to the ballpark. Sometimes when you're playing out of town and you have to go to the hotel and you worry about if guys are making curfew, if guys are going here, going there, you don't have to worry about it with a situation like this because you do have to get up so early and you do come in late. So it actually has worked as an advantage, Dave Hall thinks.
Yeah, it's not like you'd have to worry that they were out at Boston's till all hours of the night. Man, that one fouled back to the screen. Great restaurant, by the way, just next to Nationwide Arena. 0-1.
Chances are good we may see the Boston's before the day is done.
And we don't have a curfew either.
No, we don't have a curfew.
0-2 to Ryan Flesch, who struck out first time. You know, sometimes you get the 10 a.m. game Thursday, you might as well just stay in that routine.
You know, that's probably why the state does it that way. Everybody plays at the same time again in the second round. But I think I'd have to agree with Jordan and Coach Hall that you don't when you have playing at 10 o'clock, you don't have a lot of time to goof around. Get up and go.
The other thing about that, guys, is that these guys are still in their school routine, so they're used to getting up early. Now, Dave said if this was a week or two down the road when they've been sleeping until noon or 1, then maybe it's a problem. But because they're still in their school routine, this is actually working out just fine for them.
He sounds like he's speaking from experience. Sleeping in from noon till 1 after you graduated high school?
Well, I think I still sleep till noon or 1.
You get into that habit, it's hard to break. That one into the dirt. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Guess we got an excuse. We do a lot of night work at the games and such, so.
Except this is Saturday morning.
You want to miss those cartoons,
That's
so you
right.
got to get up early.
They're missing their cartoons.
2 balls and 2 strikes to Ryan Flesch. And you're going to put another ball in play here. Unlike the regional final game, looks like they have a pretty good supply of baseballs. 2-2 the last 2 innings. Leadoff man has gotten aboard. Krusel trying to change that trend, and he's fouled off there to stay alive. And you talk about that with Ryan Flesch, it is quite a thing. He was playing freshman ball last year. Now all of a sudden he's a sophomore catcher. He's telling senior pitchers to settle down and so forth. You got to have a lot of confidence to do that. And he hits that one high in the air. That should be an easy play for Schmink. And he puts it away.
Well, that's 2 up and 2 down for Ryan Flesch, and as we mentioned, 2 hits in the other game. A lot of their offense, but you know, baseball is a funny game, and right now the only damage that's been done has been by the last hitter in the lineup, Clowney.
And again, it just once more shows the kind of game baseball is. Swung on. That one is a high fly, but lazily drifting. And caught out there by Ryan Young. Again, in a comment that Dave Hall was making before the game, that maybe wasn't really hoping it would go this way, but he was saying in relation to that semifinal victory, when they got the big hits and big at-bats from players who were pinch hitting and didn't have a lot of at-bats, you might not expect to be the heroes, but that's the beautiful thing about baseball, is you just never know what can happen. And here we saw it again. They got through the heavy part of the order, and then the bottom part of the order is what came back and got him a strike delivered there to Jesse Raitt.
Well, how about Hollywood script, guys? You bring up a freshman that has only 2 at-bats all season in that semifinal game, and he lines a double over the wall. They had Matt Slocum pinch hit in that inning, a guy who has been injured, not playing all year. He was what Dave Hall said is one of the best hitters he's ever coached for 3 years, but because of an injury had been slowed down. And then Matt Garbig, a guy who's been sick all week, comes up and hits a bases clearing double. I mean, could you write a script any better than that?
I think as Al Michaels said about the '80 Olympics, said if you went to a producer with that script, you'd been thrown out in your ear.
That's about right too.
2 balls and a strike here.
It was so quick in the change of emotion was so quick. I thought that was the most exhilarating thing about that. It was the emotions flowing from both sides at that point was just tremendous.
3-1 now to Alex Corna. Sharp at third base and snared by Matt Garbig. And another big defensive play as Perrysburg's been making all year. Still 2-0 Lakota East after 2.5.
Save more at the Monroe Superstore this week. You own a brand new 2011 Dodge Caliber Express, equipped, not stripped, for only $205 a month. That's right, 0 down, sign and drive, only $205. Let's review the facts. Save more when you enjoy 32 miles per gallon for only $205 a month. And that's 0 down, sign and drive. And this car is equipped, not stripped. Enjoy 4 oil changes at no charge. And this includes a 100,000-mile warranty. View hundreds of vehicles and videos at MonroeDodge.com.
Welcome to the new Appliance Center Home Store, the greatest furniture showroom in Ohio. We're the area's Tempur-Pedic mattress headquarters. Plus, see Simmons, Rustonic, and more. Choose from over 200 mattresses in stock. Right now, queen mattress sets starting at just $265. Plus, 2 years same as cash on select mattresses. Free same-day delivery, setup, and recycling. The new Appliance Center Home Store, Ohio's greatest home furnishing destination.
Healthy traveling contingent of Yellow Jacket fans right atop the dugout here at Huntington Park.
Greg, I was just actually standing inside the Perrysburg huddle after that last half inning, and Brian Cannon, who's one of the assistant coaches, and he's their first base coach, a guy who's very vocal. He stopped everybody before they went in the dugout, and he said, guys, listen, we've struck out a few times in this game, and really, he's bouncing his breaking ball in the dirt, and he's going to continue to throw that until we can lay off it. So that's one of their big focuses heading into this inning, is trying to lay off the breaking stuff in the dirt.
Such a great thing to have our guy down there on the bench to get all that firsthand information. Everything but short of sending Jordan up to bat And I think they might frown on that, but he's got access to everything else. Inside to Kevin Schenk. Leading off the last third. Maybe they could send him up and bat for the other team. Fastball strike at the knees.
That might take some convincing.
That on the other side, yes. I think Hall might be amenable. Outside.
Well, what they need to do, what they need is for Evan Hills, though, to oblige here by not getting ahead in the count against these Perrysburg hitters. When he's ahead in the count, he can bounce that curveball up there, and they have no choice but sometimes to wave at it just in case it gets close to the plate. There's a
Schenk
fastball.
hits one into right field.
Got ahead with, he had 2 strikes, Greg, and he had a chance there to maybe go with his breaking pitch. Came to the fastball, and he was ready for it. Ripped it into right field.
Schenk, who Coach Hall called the best defensive shortstop he's ever coached, showed that he knows what to do with the bat, too.
Well, let's see if they try to move runners along here like they did last inning.
Similar to Kalani, a solid hit for a player deep in the batting order. There's a throw down to first. They got him. Boy, oh boy, I did not think that he was going to get the thumb on that, although it was certainly too close for comfort. And just like that, Schenk is eliminated, and he's not happy.
And he reaches with his right hand here, Greg. If he goes to the bag with his left hand, he would be safe with the left. It's still a close play, but see, he went. If he could have lifted that right hand, he did the right thing. He was going for the back corner, but he kind of short-armed the bag. He didn't reach out.
Similar play happened in the semifinal game where that sweep tag by the right-handed first baseman almost picked off the runner. This time it does, as A.J. Stockwell fouls it off to the left field seats.
Once again, the strength of Rindfleisch's arm.
We've seen that with the caught stealing earlier with Krusel, and now again.
They can't outrun his arm.
Little dribbler, nicely played there by Hills. Flips on for the second out. Still, just as with the case in the game against Willoughby South with Cameron Knott, Perrysburg hasn't produced the runs yet, but they have shown that they can get the bat around on Hills and make solid contact with him. And perhaps once again that will begin to pay dividends as we go out through the game. And there's Schenk with another hit. He's been a very hot hitter in this tournament. That is his third hit. And he had a double and a single, and because he was swinging the bat so well in the semifinal, they decided to walk him, put the winning run on base in that game, and he continues his hot swinging.
Well, everything went so far the way that Lakota wanted it to. They kept runners off the bases. The bottom part of the order here for Perrysburg, they kept them off the base and had Schmenk come up with 2 outs and nobody on. Had they hadn't had the pickoff play, Perrysburg would have something going right here, and had they moved the runner up with the bunt, they would have had a run.
Here's Garbick.
Shoulda, coulda, woulda.
Interesting. Again, talking to Dave Hall about his game-winning at bat. When he watched Cameron Knott pitching, the whole team saw that he was losing a lot from what he had earlier, and he had just thrown a pitch in the dirt. And he was trying to pick his spots, trying to be much more fine than earlier on. And there's a base hit by Garbick, and that means the pickoff now has prevented Perrysburg from scoring, but they still have runners on the corners with 2 out, and Krusel coming up to the plate in an attempt to help his own cause.
Well, with the first baseman holding the runner on, that leaves an opening on the right side. Garbick was able to hit it right through that slot. And, yeah, once again, inning's not over. Krusel's up. He's got a chance here to help himself out and the rest of the team. But had things gone as planned in a couple earlier at-bats, you're right. There would have been a run across the plate here. And but we'll see if Krusel can come up with a big 2-out RBI just like Lakota did.
Strike there. Coach Hall said when that ball, just to finish the story, and the ball went in the dirt, prior to the winning hit by Garbick, he said he knew we were going to at least get a very good chance of winning because he was going to come down with a grooved fastball when he had lost a good deal of velocity, and Garbick was waiting for it. And he's been a hot hitter. That if it wasn't for an outstanding play over at second base, turning it into a double play and robbing him, that'd have been his third hit of the state tournament. And a nice block there behind the plate by Jarrett Reinflesch to keep a run from coming in.
Yeah, that's one thing to get Perrysburg to chase those bouncing breaking pitches, but with a runner on third base, you might be less apt to throw that. I think if I was Krusel, I'd be looking for a fastball right here. And he didn't get
breaking pitch.
And I think that Evan Hills was thinking the same thing. He's probably looking for a fastball. I better not give him one, but this would be a good spot for one here.
Rick, the other thing is if you're a base runner, you have to watch for him to bounce that as well, because you can get a free base because he throws that breaking ball in the dirt so often that you were talking about Krusel looking for a fastball. If you're a base runner, watch for that breaking ball that he throws and bounces off home plate.
Yeah, you can anticipate that if your head's up and follow the flight of the ball. And especially in this situation with runners on first and third, if you're that runner on first and that ball's bouncing, he's not going to be so apt to throw down to second base.
Perrysburg has had 3 hits this inning and 5 on the game, and they've all been solidly struck balls. Outside, and one pitch away from loading them up for the cleanup man and top hitter Colby, who's wearing his catching gear, at least his leg protectors, but hoping he'll get a chance to take them off.
Boy, he stayed away from his fastball here the last 4 pitches.
The 3-2 swung on, hard shot, and a great play at second base on a hop, just as though it was the last game when second baseman for Willoughby South robbed them. A great play here by Blake Wilder, and no run. Still 2-0 Lakota East. Will be right back on BCSN.
BCSN and the Toledo Community Foundation are proud to announce that Keon Pearson has been selected as the BCSN Student of the Year. Keon graduated from St. Francis de Sales High School, where he was the first African-American valedictorian of the senior class in the school's history. Keon plans to attend Harvard University in the fall for his undergraduate studies before moving on to medical school. Congratulations, Keon Pearson, BCSN's Student of the Year. The BCSN Scholarship is administered by the Toledo Community Foundation and brought to you in part by Stotzenberger College.
It's about occupational education, hands-on training, national accreditation, certified teachers. It's about your options. Digital Media Administration, MCITP track, IT Enterprise Administration, Microsoft Technology Specialist. It's about real-world problem solving, computer applications, industry leadership for 15 years, lifetime placement assistance. It's about the job. Stotzenberger College. Classes begin July 9th. Log on to sctoday.edu.
Lakota East leading Perrysburg 2-0 as we head to the top half of the 4th inning. And that is, again, deja vu in a way that you don't want to see it. Matt Garbick looked like he had come up with a huge hit in the semifinal game in the 5th inning, but Anthony Junta robbed him and then turned it into a double play as he doubled Alex Schmenk off first base. And in this case, I thought that ball was going to get through, and it was going to mean certainly 1 run. And a great opportunity for more, but all credit to Craig Thompson, who made that play over at second base.
Well, in the kickoff play really loomed big, because they would have had a 1 run in there. That would not have been the final out of the inning.
First baseman number 23.
Well, now it is Mitch Gears leading things off.
But again, that's the way the game goes, and you have to play over that. Now they know that they can touch him up, Greg.
They sure do. Said 5 hits already, and that was a screamer that was hit. It could have easily been hit number 6. Conrad's their ace. He pitched a complete game against Grove City, so they might be able to get him for a couple of innings. And you question the effectiveness, having worked a complete game just the day before. Gears singled and scored in that 2-run second. A ball and a strike right now.
I nailed
him. Again, they get the leadoff batter aboard. Let's take a look here at this great play at second base. And I thought the ball was just going to scoot on by him, but he got it on the short hop, even though he was diving.
Yeah, good anticipation, good hands, good quickness. Just kind of one step and a dive and stick the glove out, and a lot of times you're just hoping for the best.
You mentioned the fast infield and the hard dirt out here. Thought it had a really good chance of getting by because the ball was smoked by Krusel. That one down low to Thompson, so he almost had it where the guy made the great play led off.
Yes.
I guess batting second is the next best thing. And he was trying to add some batting heroics to his fielding acrobatics there, but fouled it off.
Well, and Krusel's got to turn around right here and bear down. He just had a big at bat. You have to change your focus. That's sometimes can be real tough to go from your offensive focus to your pitching focus. Oh, he came close to hitting him again. You don't want to put a couple guys on for free here. It's already tepid water that you're dealing with by hitting the first guy. You don't want to get into hot water here by doing another one.
Or scalding water. An inside missed. They got Perrysburg for 4 hits. And I had him for 5. But at any rate, they have been making very good contact on Evan Hills. I think better contact actually than Lakota's been making on Krusel. Great play there at second base by Schmick. The double play attempt, no. Thompson legged it out. A fine play there at Keystone Combo. Really turned that double play extremely well. Schmick fielded with his glove, a quick flip and a good throw. They just missed getting 2.
Yeah, we talked about the quick infield. There's a nice quick flip, a nice play there, backhanded stop by Schmink, and he made a nice quick toss to Schenk.
And you see Schenk's twirling
and he
ballet dancer like agility, and then fired it over and just barely missed it. Perrysburg, the best fielding team for Coach Hall in 30 years of coaching, he said. A .954 fielding percentage, which for a high school team is phenomenal. And you saw how well drilled they were in attempting to turn that double play.
Well, and that's important, and that play there by Schenk was important, keeping that ball in the infield, preventing a big inning from starting with that runner getting on for free. They erased him. One more play like that might be able to get out of the inning.
Well, guys, you heard Dave Hall before the game say he was very confident in his number 3 as well, and Alex Williams rather, and he is up in the bullpen right now. He has started to loosen up here as the pitch count gets to 67 now for Matt Krusel.
Yeah, what a luxury it is to have 3 pitchers all performing at that extremely high level, all with ERAs under 1. That pitch is low.
Yeah, I was going to say Krusel's pitch count starting with the first inning has been a little more than average for him, and he's been struggling with his control, so he's been pitching from behind a lot.
And there is ball 4. That's the 3rd walk he's yielded. Runners on first and second with 1 out.
They may go early here because you can't afford, as you mentioned earlier, to get too far behind this team. You dodged a bullet 2 days ago.
Yeah, we were even talking about that early in the Willoughby South game. That was they were really hitting Schmenk around. Coach said he'd never seen Schmenk hit so hard. And maybe they would make a move early in that game, so they might have Schmenk available for duty today if they needed him, but they stuck with him, and turned out to be a very good decision. But the bullpen activity for Alex Williams continues. Alex Williams, the best ERA on the team at .55. And a strike there to designated hitter Brian Evans, hitting for the pitcher.
And again, Greg, it's that bottom part of the order that's doing the damage here, getting things set up. Clowney's got the big hit is looming on deck, the number 9 hitter. And you need to take care of this part of the order, as we mentioned before. Kreuzel's got to really bear down here. He can get out of this inning with one pitch if he can make the right kind of pitch. Throw a ground ball here and end this thing.
Yeah, there is a ground ball, but nobody's going to get it. And rounding third, chugging home with a belly flop is Craig Thompson, who made that great play at second. And now he has given Lakota East a 3-0 lead, and this time it's the number 8 man who comes up with the big RBI.
Well, we got the ground ball, as you said, but that was a ground ball base hit. And when you put runners on for free, you're setting the table, and then this bottom part of the order that usually you can figure is not going to hit the ball that much starts to deliver. That's another RBI. That's an RBI by the number 8 hitter, Greg. So the three runs batted in are by the 8 and 9 hitter.
And here's Clowney, who was the hero previously, and Lakota East's own coaches said, you know, it's our top 5 that's really our threat. And the numbers certainly tell the story. The highest batting average in the bottom 4 spots is 246. The lowest in the first 5 is 347. And yet, as you said, all of the production has come, at least the lion's share of it, all the RBIs have come from that lower portion of the batting order. Of course, some of the, really only one, Mitch Gears, who was on with a single, that top 5 was even aboard. That ball is hit well to center field. But catching up to it, making the play, Steve Slocum tagging, advancing a very close play there. But Blake Wilder moves up to third base on that long fly out to center.
They made that play a little bit closer at third than what you thought it might be as the ball left the bat. He hit that ball pretty good to center field, and Slocum had to go back on the ball, but he made a perfect relay to Schenk, and Schenk made a nice throw to third. And
J.D. Wetzel's up now. Really love to drive in that run at third to make it 4-0. It's a high fly ball 3, converging on it. Schmenk is going to take control. Makes the catch to end the inning, but another run posted. It's 3-0 Lakota East after 3.5.
Finally, a summer camp that exercises a child's mind and body. Creativity Camp at the Common Space is a multi-arts day camp for children ages 5 to 12. Professional teaching artists help kids explore art, music, theater, creative writing, and more. Full-day sessions focus on fun with creative arts, and extended care is available. For more information or to register for Creativity Camp, call the Common Space at 419-531-2046.
A student can spend 40 hours a week in school, but is what they're being taught compatible with your family values? From pre-K through 12th grade, Toledo Christian Schools wants our students to be prepared for what they'll face in the world. We help them find their personal and spiritual strength. Students are invited to be an Eagle for a day and see what it's like in our school. Parents can call or go online to ToledoChristian.com for details. Toledo Christian Schools, building strong minds and strong faith.
And right now the fans are otherwise occupied, but I'm sure that they're going to turn their sights back to the ballpark and hoping that Perrysburg's going to recover. But you don't want to get too nervous too soon, as they proved, and they can win it in the 7th inning in the last game.
If you're Perrysburg, you're saying, hey, we got these guys right where we want them.
That's exactly right. If they can pull it off again, and see a huge crowd here for this game, especially considering that a 10 o'clock game, and a lot of these fans sure drove down here this morning. So as we were mentioning earlier, an early riser for people that keep a Monday through Friday work schedule to take their Saturday morning, get up and drive down to Columbus for this game. Great deal of civic pride, and of course the players very, very energized by the support they've been getting. Here is Colby outside. And I think Perrysburg is getting to the point now where they need a big hit, similar to what Hunter Smith did. He got that home run that gave them some hope around this point in the game. Ground ball, short hop nicely over there at first base. And unassisted play by Mitch Gears.
Well, I thought when he charged that ball, Greg, we saw him earlier maybe not be as nimble around the bag with his glove as usually first basemen are, and I thought that ball might eat him up.
That was a tougher play than the one he missed, actually.
Yeah, I mean, right there I thought, boy, as hard as this surface is, and it was a do or die play for him. That was a really good play by Gears.
Steve Slocum up, laid down a nice sacrifice bunt his first time. And once again, we've got a high lazy pop. Gears under it, snares it for 2 down. 2 up and 2 down very quickly here for Perrysburg in the last of the 4th.
Well, and too quickly if you're Perrysburg, because you'd like to build his pitch count a little bit, maybe get him to the point where they were on Thursday against Knott, when he started to lose his fastball in the 7th inning.
And that proved to be a major factor in the game and the ultimate outcome.
You'd like to get Knott's pitch count up here. It's getting to be a little humid.
Hunter Smith had that big home run in the Willoughby South game. Takes a ball, 2-0.
I think you're right. They need something. They need something electric, a little spark here to get them off the snide offensively and to kill some of the, or at least drain some of the confidence here from this Lakota team, who's feeling like they're cruising a little bit right now.
It's the same situation. Last of the 4th, down 3-0. Hunter Smith up. He came through at the home run Thursday, and he's got a hitter's pitch here at 3-1.
Let's see if he gives in here with a fastball.
Ball 4. Not a home run, but they'll take it. And Ryan Young coming up to the plate.
See, when he was in that situation with Krusel last inning, he wouldn't give in, and he kept going breaking ball, and then finally the last pitch that Krusel hit the second base was a fastball. But this Evan Hills, he's a thinker on the mound, Greg.
Yeah, and he's not even the one who's going to the Ivy League next year.
Yeah, he is going to Cincinnati, so you know that he knows how to pitch.
A good head on your shoulders to go there, too. 0-1 to Ryan Young. And big swing and a miss there.
He saw that breaking pitch kind of hang inside on him, and he thought he'd be able to whack it in the alley.
Goes the opposite way, but they're playing him extremely deep in left field. I think that wind has died down, so it's not like it was before. But yeah, he's playing just a couple of steps from the warning track out there.
That's what I was going to say. He's really close to the warning track.
So he really has confidence on his ability to come into the ball. Up high again, they peg it down to first, and Perrysburg got a once bitten, twice shy approach on getting too far away from first base.
Well, that cannon that is attached to the right shoulder of Reinfleisch is pretty potent, and he's shown it here today a couple times that he can beat the legs with that arm of his.
2-2 now. Long furtive glance over there at first. And he just caught him at the bat of his shoulder on that breaking pitch. We're through 4. Lakota East still leading 3-0.
Why are you at a bank where you're unhappy? Switch your accounts to Glass City Federal Credit Union and see the difference immediately. We understand service the way it should be. When you call us, you'll always talk to someone right here in Northwest Ohio. And we'll start our relationship with a 3% interest rate on your checking account. Yes, our services are just like your bank, but we think you'll be pleasantly surprised that really, we're not anything like a bank.
We're working for you.
The blade is evolving. Take a look at the new e-blade. It's the paper without the paper. On your computer exactly the way you like to see it. Visit eblade.info to get eBlade for free. You'll click with us at The Blade. The Blade is evolving, but we're still one of America's great newspapers. Check it out. News and information, sports, business, and money-saving coupons. No batteries required. You'll click with us at The Blade.
SN, available exclusively on Buckeye Cable System, is presented by The Andersons, more for your home. Yark Automotive, just what you're looking for. And by Banner Mattress and Furniture.
Last half of the fifth as we start to move into the latter stages of the ball game. And the situation is officially even more dire than it was Thursday, as now it's a 3-0 game. Perrysburg was down 3-1 and had the momentum of the Smith homer heading into the fifth against Willoughby South. And see, once again, that lower deck almost completely filled out toward right field with Perrysburg faithful. And they certainly haven't given up, and this team certainly proved that they are full of fight right to the end.
Leading off, the catcher, number 9,
in their semifinal victory. Looking more and more like they've got their hands full here with this Lakota East team, and they really want to win this because they had a huge school. They got 2,000 students also at Lakota West. So much so that the schools separated back in '97, and in 2007 Lakota West won the state baseball championship for Division I, so they feel like, hey, they've got to win one for themselves. Ground ball to short, played very coolly, and Schenk on to Stockwell for the out. One down.
Oh, Krusel got him jammed on that one, got him down on the handle, and hit a nice easy ground ball to Schenk at shortstop. And that's big to get that first out of the inning. Krusel's had a little bit of trouble doing that.
Now the batter is Jesse Raitt. That one in the dirt. We're talking to the coaches for Lakota East about the state rankings. Perrysburg's the only ranked team in the tournament this year that ranked 5th. The other 3 teams are all unranked: Willoughby South, Grove City, and Lakota East. Last year Lakota East was 2nd in the state, and they lost in the sectional final. This year they've maybe lost just a few more games with a 23-7 record. 12 seniors on the team, a lot of guys with the excellent experience coming into this year, but they weren't deemed strong enough to be ranked, and yet here they are, 3 innings from a state championship.
Well, it just goes to show you everything is decided on the field, not on paper, not from rankings.
A lot of times the coaches are making votes for that based on just what the raw numbers are without really seeing the players in the games, as Raitt draws that walk.
Right fielder, number 24, Alex Corda.
Guys, actually, it was a beautiful day. The rain actually has started to fall just a little bit. Some sprinkles falling down. Just check the radar, and there is a little cell over Columbus right now. The umpire headed over and talked to Dave Hall in between innings about it, so something to monitor over the next few minutes as the rain begins to fall even harder.
It is starting to come down pretty heavily. We had a beautiful day, very similar to Thursday when the game started, but now we're seeing the fans en masse starting to go for cover, but there isn't a lot of cover. The throw down, and they got him once again. They catch a runner between first and second, but this time they do manage to produce the out. Man, that's a big one. There's now 2 down.
Well, credit Schenk. Watch this quick sweeping tag at second base. He might have got his right hand.
Well, we were comparing this ballpark, the 2009 ballpark of the year, with Fifth Third Field, and I'm sure has been named a ballpark of the year probably on numerous occasions. But one difference, though, is that they have that second tier over at Fifth Third Field, and there's a place to go for shelter a little bit more readily than there is here, as the fans are finding out.
Yeah, there's very little room with an overhang. Just the suite section that hangs over the bottom part of the stadium but it actually doesn't actually hang over any of the seated area. If you're going to get out of the rain, you got to come up underneath and stand. But I believe it stopped already, Greg. Either that or it's just a drizzle. It's just, actually, the sun's kind of peeking through a little.
1 ball, 2 strikes to Alex Corna. Yeah, that was very close to the outside corner of the plate. So as great as these ballparks are on that basis, I'll still give a slight vote to Fifth Third. 2-2, high, hard one. And Corna is retired to end the inning. Let's see what they can do about this 3-0 deficit coming up in the last of the 5th.
Hello, friends. It's Vito, and you are maybe wondering what makes my pizza so special, huh? That's simple. I love to make my Vito's pizza just for you, and you're going to love to eat it, because every bite is pure pizza enjoyment. There's a lot of love in my BLT pizza. Crispy bacon, cheddar, and mozzarella cheese, topped with mayo, fresh lettuce, and Roma tomatoes. There's a little bit of magic in every delicious bite. Vito's Pizza and Subs. Fast, hot, fresh, guaranteed.
I thought you guys could use some shade.
Thanks.
Sunsetter awnings give you shade when you want it, then automatically store out of the way. Toledo Door and Window has all the details. Why not come home to a Sunsetter awning? Hey, it's a jungle out there.
Toledo Door and Window, home of the talking door.
Ready for the last of the 5th, 3-0 Lakota East, and let's go down to the field to Jordan.
Well, guys, Matt Slocum has picked up a bat. We saw this last game where he came in, and remember, I told you the story earlier that he was the quarterback of the football team, and he's really been injured, hasn't been able to play a whole lot this year. But what Dave Hall said he's hoping to do when he gets Matt Slocum in there is just get lucky, get lightning in a bottle, one swing of the bat, because he is such a good hitter, and he's hoping that maybe he can catch that lightning in a bottle. It looks like Matt Slocum will be on deck.
Visual proof that Jordan Strack is indeed down there. We've been hearing his voice. The bonus expert analysis in this game. And Kevin Schenk will lead things off for Perrysburg in the last of the 5th. And they really could use a run or two at least to get started on a comeback before they get to their final at-bats, rather than having to do it all at once as they did in the previous game outside to Schenk, who had a solid hit his first time up to right field, but then was picked off in what may be one of the really key plays of this game. And Perrysburg will hope that that play will diminish in its significance in retrospect after this game is over. Certainly it appeared they lost at least one run. There's another well-struck ball, but right back to the mound. Hills fielding his position well, throws on for the first out.
One thing that you teach pitchers is to follow through and come down in a good position to be able to field the ball that's hit right back to you. And that's exactly what happened there. That ball was hit hard. Hills was in a good position to become the 5th infielder and get a big out number 1 here.
And here is Matt Slocum. Jordan spoke just a moment ago. Football quarterback who's been injured much this year. Pinch hit yesterday. It was just 1 for 8, 125 on the season, showing the limited duty that he's had. But he worked Cameron Knott for a walk, kept the inning going. That ended up leading to, in fact, he got the inning going. He was the second batter up after the leadoff batter was retired. Let's see what he can do here in another tight situation.
Well, the rain's returned a little bit, light rain, and with that, a little more breeze, Greg. It's blowing a little bit harder out towards left.
Outside ball 1. There's still some glimmer of sunshine here. It is a rather surreal kind of atmosphere with the precipitation in addition to that. Outside corner for a strike. 1-1.
Evan Hill's a quick worker too, Greg. He gets the ball and he's in a set position. You can see the flag there blowing pretty good. He gets the ball right back. Infielders like that. They like pitchers that work fast, keeps them on their toes.
The scoreboard says 3-0. I thought I saw the umpire signal strike on that second offering. See what happens here. Yeah, in fact, it was. So count now 3-1. Our crew is right 99% of the time. Big swing and a miss, and we go full.
Perrysburg might want to try slowing him down, Craig. Not get in the batter's box so quick. Request some time here and there. Get him out of his groove. He's just feeling too comfortable right now.
And a strikeout, retiring Matt Slocum after he had that count at 3-1. And now Alex Schmink the batter.
Comfortable and confident. They've been getting the keys that they needed to success here today. Good pitching, good defense, and certainly the timely hitting.
Well, guys, you're talking about how he seems to be getting a little bit stronger. That last fastball he just blew past Slocum was 86 miles an hour. That's about as hard as he's thrown all game. So his 72nd pitch of the game was about as hard as, and it seems like he is getting stronger as he goes this entire game.
Yeah, he's certainly not losing anything, and he's gaining with confidence. I'd like to see Perrysburg kind of slow him down a little bit.
Well, and maybe even try to lay down a bunt or do something just to disrupt the rhythm. Maybe try to make him get off the mound and field, although he's done a pretty good job of that today as well.
Yeah, he's a solid pitcher. I mean, there's no doubt about it. There's a good reason why Cincinnati has signed him to come play for their team.
Roxon offers a 2-1. Again hit right back through the box, but this time over Evan Hills, and Alex Schmink with another hit. That is 4 hits for him in the state tournament.
Well, unfortunately here today, the 2 hits he's had have been with nobody on base and a couple of outs. But this is an opportunity here.
Matt Garbick, it's hero time again. He had a great birthday, I'm sure, after that game-winning hit.
Well, we'll see what happens here. Hills hasn't worked from a stretch too often here today. He's going to switch him around.
And that ball is hit well, but not as deep as the one yesterday. And it will be caught out in center field by Jesse Raitt. And the inning, once again, Perrysburg hangs a goose egg on the board. Still 3-0 Lakota East.
Welcome to the new Appliance Center Home Store, the greatest furniture showroom in Ohio. You're the area's Tempur-Pedic mattress headquarters. Plus, see Simmons, Rustonic, and more. Choose from over 200 mattresses in stock. Right now, all Tempur-Pedic mattresses include free bed frames and pillows. Plus, 2 years same as cash on select mattresses. Free same-day delivery, setup, and recycling. The new Appliance Center Home Store, Ohio's greatest home furnishing destination.
You've worked hard and you've paid into Social Security, but now you can't work and you need help.
You've applied for disability and been denied. It's just not fair.
You've played by the rules all your life, but now the system has let you down. Where do you go from here?
I'm an attorney with Gowan, Takacs, Boyce, Milton, Schaefer.
You've worked hard your whole life.
Now let us work hard for you.
Protecting your rights and providing you peace of mind.
Lakota East, they're so close they can taste it, leading 3-0 as we head to the top of the 6th.
Greg, looking at the way this thing is going to shake out for the last 6 outs for Perrysburg, that was the number 2 hitter, Matt Garbick, that made the last out of that inning. So you're going to get at least one more bat from your 3, 4, 5 guys, but you're also going to have to get something done at the bottom of the lineup if you want to be able to turn it over and get Alex Schmink another at bat in this thing. So if Perrysburg is going to be able to come back once again, it's going to have to be the bottom of the order that helps them out a little.
We helped him out a great deal in the last game. And with Schmink, what he needs is to get up there with people on base, because he's gotten 2 hits today, but both times they've been in no one on, 2 out situations. The rain has picked up again, and once again the fans go scurrying for shelter.
Back and forth, they're getting their exercise here today.
And now it's coming down as hard as it has all day. And just a few minutes ago, the sun was breaking through. That's interesting. Our truck is right outside the stadium, and we're informed that it is not raining there. Maybe we could
Is this isolated showers today?
Telegraph a request upstairs to move the rain just a few feet. Blasted short and right under the glove of Kevin Schenk. That doesn't happen very often. And Mitch Gears is aboard.
Oh, you know what? It looked like that ball got to him a lot quicker than what he thought it was going to. Or maybe he slipped it on this all of a sudden slippery playing surface.
Schenk a .919 fielding percentage over at shortstop.
Second baseman number 4, Greg Thompson.
Rick, you're absolutely right. That ball got to him a little bit quicker than he thought. I don't know if it has something to do with the rain, but it looked like it took that one first hop off the grass and kind of skidded on him. He thought it was going to have a candy hop, but it kind of stayed down on him a little bit. I don't know if it has anything to do with the rain, but maybe.
But it just deadened it enough. Of course, we've seen how lively that dirt base path has been throughout the game on ground balls. Just talking about a couple innings ago how Schenk is one of the best defensive shortstops that Dick Hall has coached in 26 years. There's a strike call outside corner to Craig Thompson.
Well, as hard as this infield is and short as the grass is, it reacts almost like an artificial surface, the way the ball seems to be reacting.
Nice block by Colby. Thompson at the plate has turned in maybe the play of the game. In fact, the two turning point plays have been in the field, and they were in the same inning. The one time where Perrysburg did string together hits in the same inning, the pickoff and the great play that Thompson made over at second to Rob Krusel. And he gets under that one. Krusel hovering under it, puts it away. One out. Blake Wilder due up.
Getting down to that part of the order break that has been the problem for Perrysburg today.
Here's where the trouble starts generally in this game. And it is definitely 180 degrees opposed to the conventional wisdom, which was that the real threat in the Lakota order, which is borne out by the numbers, their top 5 hitters. Strike called.
Well, it looks like the rain stopped on the field. I wonder if it's raining on the truck now.
Yeah, well, and maybe they answered that request. Thank you very much up there. Still not raining out at the truck. And that one in the fist. Swung on and missed 1 and 2. No activity in the Perrysburg pen at the moment. They have Williams necessary, but Krusel has settled down since those first 2 innings where he ran into some trouble. That one fouled back to the screen.
You look at the scoreboard, and Perrysburg has out-hit Lakota 6-4.
Yeah, they have adjusted that, so Perrysburg does have 6 hits, which concurs with our numbers.
Took away an error from Lakota.
They called an error on that infield hit by Krusel, but really that was not justified. That one is sneaked through to right field, and again, the bottom portion of this order, Blake Wilder, a .217 hitter. Moves Gears over to second. Fortunate with that base hit to right that the runner wasn't able to steam on into third. And now the sun has returned.
Well, again, that ball hit hard, and it seems to gain speed as it goes through the infield. You see right here, he reaches out. Schmake looked like he might get to it, but it just gained speed. Nice charge of the ball out there by Ryan Young to keep that runner from advancing to third. Looks like we might have is it a pinch runner?
Yep.
Now batting designated hitter number 7, Brian Evans.
Something being changed here, and Coach Hall's coming out to make a pitching change here. And
they're going to wave in the left fielder to take over the change of position. They are going to go in with Alex Williams to the mound and maybe make some defensive changes too. While they sort this out, we'll take a break and be right back on BCSN.
Come see what's new at the Anderson's Garden Centers. We scour the country, hand select the very best plants, and test grow them here. Like these new proven winter shrubs for sun or shade. We offer more varieties of shade and fruit trees, ornamentals, exotics, and grasses than anywhere else. Why settle for one kind of maple when we have dozens? And our experts know every plant we sell. It's garden season and we're ready to grow at the Andersons.
Keep your older car running longer for less with cherry-picked auto parts. Bring your tools along because you pick the parts from thousands of cars parked out on the lot. Most models from the 80s and 90s, as well as older and newer models, are on the lot. Find the parts that you need. Tires, wheels, batteries, fenders, radiators, mufflers, bumpers, and more. Cherry-picked auto parts is open 7 days a week, 8 a.m. till 5 p.m. all year long. So don't get nicked at some old junkyard pit. Buy the parts that you need at Cherry Picked.
3-0. Alex Williams is on to pitch. Damon Lander on to pinch run for Lakota East, and Brian Evans the batter. And again, beware of these guys with the modest batting averages in the lower portion of the Lakota East order. And Krusel back in center field. There's a look at his pitching numbers. Not bad, but not his typical outing. Of course, they're up against, obviously, but the best competition in the state, you'd have to say.
Oh, absolutely. at this stage in the final game in the high school season and the state championship playoff, certainly tough competition. Sawed him off.
And they go to second for one, across, and a smartly turned double play. More fielding exploits by the Yellow Jackets to get out of the inning. Still 3-0 Lakota East after 5.5.
It's just what you're looking for.
Where can you go for Northwest Ohio and Southeast Michigan's largest selection of pre-owned vehicles under $10,000 or pre-owned luxury vehicles under $20,000? YarkAuto.com. Search over 2,000 new and pre-owned vehicles every day. Shop Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, Ram, Nissan, Subaru, BMW, Chevrolet, and Fiat. Plus, get pre-approved in seconds. You can even schedule your service appointment. Just click YarkAuto.com.
The all-new Chrysler 200 for only $200 a month, and that's 0 down, sign and drive. That's right. Save more at the Monroe Superstore when you enjoy the all-new Chrysler 200 imported from Detroit for only $200 a month. Let's review the facts. Enjoy 31 miles per gallon. Enjoy your first 4 oil changes at no charge. Only $200 a month. Leave your checkbook at home at 0 down, sign and drive. And this deal is for everyone. Check out all the great deals at MonroeDodge.com.
We're back at Huntington Park. We head to the bottom of the 6th, 3-0. Perrysburg still trailing, but after that last double play, that was probably the biggest reaction from the dugout the entire game. They all jumped up, all the guys here, and they were fired up as they entered that huddle just before they went to take their at-bats. It's a good sign for Perrysburg. Maybe that was the confidence builder they need as we go back to the rest of this game. Guys?
Similar to what we heard going into the 7th inning, is that they still had confidence as we see that double play. Very well executed again, starting with Williams at pitching position. And sometimes a defensive play like that can get you going with the bats.
That's right. So your defense can jumpstart your offense. See this happen in other sports too. Basketball, football. Your offense gets fed that charge of adrenaline from the good defensive play. And a first pitch breaking ball for a strike as Evan Hills, though, Greg, continues to dominate here on the mound for Lakota.
And that one, a bounder to third. Blake Wilder took it on a high hop. Krusel down. And as Jordan mentioned before, we're going through the heart of the order. Possibly for the last time here. Unless they can get something going. And now they've got one retired already. Colby, the batter now. 1 for 2 on the game. Single to right. Back in the second inning.
This is reminiscent of the way Alex Schmenk pitched the other day after he after the first couple innings he started pitching backwards, which means he was going with his breaking pitch early in the count. We've seen that here today from Evan Hills, keeping these hitters off balance, keeping them guessing. Most pitchers will start you off with a first strike fastball, trying to get that first strike, and he's been tantalizing with that breaking pitch on the first pitch, and when he gets ahead, then he's in control.
2-1, and Colby slams that one up the middle. And Perrysburg has their 7th hit of the game. They've out-hit Lakota East, but Hills with a great job of scattering those hits.
Guys, I think maybe the most impressive thing I've seen from Hills on the mound is really just his presence, the way that he carries himself on the mound. He is not afraid to throw his breaking pitch in any count. He goes to it quite often, and it's been pretty effective for him so far. But right now they've got some action in their bullpen, and there's a trip to the mound.
Yeah, and then not surprising, it's a left-handed pitcher down there warming up. And
that is Conrad. He's their ace who pitched in the Grove City game. And if they scouted Perrysburg or even just watched intently, they saw the number of left-handed batters they bring up.
Yeah, just look in the program. It'll tell you bats left or right, and yeah, it doesn't take long to figure out that they're a left-handed dominant team. I have to tend to agree. I'm very impressed with his confidence on the mound. And as we mentioned, he's not afraid to pitch backwards in the count.
Steve Slocum up with 377 average. There you go again with another of those first ball breaking pitches. And when you can get it in for a strike to boot, that's even more effective.
Exactly. That's the key. If you can throw that breaking pitch first strike, that just sets you up as a pitcher to be in command of this at bat. Puts the hitter in a hole.
At the end of that game, Perrysburg was just able to lay back on Cameron, not expecting a watered down fastball. Well, that's not happening right here. In fact, just the opposite. 1-1. And when he is coming with the fastball, he's still got some mustard on it.
Yeah, he's kept his pitch count down, so he's still fairly fresh here late in the game.
Slocum swings and looked for a moment like that was headed for the gap, but he just got under it so much that it's a rainbow out there to center field. Caught by Jesse Raitt. You should see a literal rainbow anytime with all this rain and sun combination they had. There's 2 down now, and Hunter Smith to try to recapture that magic where he cleared the fence yesterday. Could cut this to a 1-run game. Goes the opposite way.
Well, he has lost a little bit off his fastball. The last 2 fastballs were at 83. Earlier in the game, he was at 86, 87. So just a little bit off of the fastball, but he's still got such a good breaking pitch. He's able to, checking baseballs here. First base umpire came out of there in a hurry to take that ball out of play, but it went right back in the ball pouch by the plate umpire.
What's the speed limit on those miles per hour?
Oh, it'll go over 100. No limit.
Don't have to worry about getting a ticket.
No.
And that pitch right in. 0-2.
And then with the 73-mile-an-hour breaking pitch, that's your 10-mile-an-hour differential between the fastball and the breaking pitch, and you're off speed. It's just enough to keep the hitter off balance. He shows him a fastball off the plate there. He didn't even want to throw that for a strike.
1-2 now. Good time to throw one out of the strike zone, and now it's up high. And so the count even at 2-2.
Really likes that breaking pitch. That's his #1 pitch, it seems, as of late. He knows that this is a good fastball hitting team. He got by with a fastball there at 84.
Interesting, in the previous game, Cameron Knott, he reared back and issued a strikeout in the 6th inning on Slocum, as a matter of fact. And we were commenting that he reached back for something extra and produced one of his toughest fastballs of the game. It might have been an indication, well, he's still strong, but the next inning he obviously wasn't. That was his last gasp. And that one just misses outside. Burns in at 85, but just off the outside corner, and we go full.
Well, when you're throwing that good off-speed pitch and that breaking pitch at 76, that just makes your fastball look that much quicker, even though it might not be as fast on the gun. It looks that fast quicker at the plate.
Might have been outside, but he reached for it. And strike 3. Perrysburg will have to do it all in the 7th as they're still down 3-0 to Lakota East after 6.
Welcome to the new Appliance Center Home Store, the greatest furniture showroom in Ohio. We're the area's Tempur-Pedic mattress headquarters. Plus, see Simmons, Rustonic, and more. Choose from over 200 mattresses in stock. Right now, queen mattress sets starting at just $265. Plus, 2 years same as cash on select mattresses. Free same-day delivery, setup, and recycling. The new Appliance Center Home Store, Ohio's greatest home furnishing destination.
Power company, your electric bill is so low that your meter must be broken. So
There's nothing wrong with the meter. Our new Whirlpool just uses a lot less energy. Look, Mr. Affordable Heating and Cooling gave us a great price and a unit so efficient, I don't have to pay you guys so much anymore.
Is your air conditioner ready for the summer? Get an affordable air conditioner inspection for just $19.95. Call today.
Now do you believe me?
Mr. Affordable. Wouldn't happen to have their number handy, would you?
3-0 Lakota East. And they will try to pad their lead. In the top of the 7th, they'll have Zach Kalani, who delivered that 2-run clout in the 2nd. Then back to the top of the order for J.D. Wetzel, Jared Reinflesch. In the top of the order, the real power of this Lakota East lineup. They'll try to pick up the guys at the bottom of the order this time.
Well, so far, Perrysburg still has their last at bats. So far, for Lakota, they've gotten the good pitching and defense and the timely hitting, which you need to win a championship.
Alex Williams getting ready to face Lakota East. It's kind of a fitting thing that he's had an opportunity to pitch here in Columbus. He's such an important figure on this team, as they needed to find a third top pitcher to replace David Gordon from last year. That ball skitters down the right field line fair, and once again the lower portion of his batting order has just been lights out, and that's Kalani's 2nd hit. He was batting 179 coming into this game. He delivered a 2-run single in the 2nd after looking like he was overpowered earlier in the same at bat. Now he's delivered a solid double down the line.
Well, you speed up his bat by throwing that breaking pitch, first pitch, and he swung inside out, kind of a defensive swing. Now, controversy here.
Both of his hits went the opposite way.
Oh, I see. They appealed at first base. They said he missed first base.
I guess with that average, maybe he hasn't had to run to second too many times on a hit. And Coach Hall never misses a trick out there. But you say he did touch the bag, and now it's J.D. Wetzel. He's the Cornell-bound player. Squared to bunt for a moment, high and away.
Well, this will be a game that Mr. Clowney will remember should the score stay this way. So far, he's got the game-winning RBI as it stands.
Yeah, we got the
2 hits.
The heroes list all made out for Willoughby South, and then it's all crumple that up and throw it out after the last of the 7th. But
yeah, throw out the scouting reports.
But right now, Lakota East showing very little sign of sagging. There's a nice bunt. Williams looks over, nothing to do about the runner taking third, and he throws on to retire Wetzel. There's 1 down, but that's a very big run. 90 feet away now with 2 outs, and 2 of the top hitters, Ryan Flesh and Raitt, up next.
Yeah, the guys that we said and what even their own coaching staff admitted, these are the guys that have been carrying them offensively and the guys that you really have to take care of if you're the opposition.
Both were 2 of 3. Ryan Flesh with a big double and Raitt with a big home run in the win over Grove City, and he hits Ryan Flesh. And so he will trot down to first base. And now it's up to Jesse Raitt. And he's walked twice. They pitched very carefully to him, induced him to hit 1 fly ball to right field, which was caught.
Guys, big situation here. 1st and 3rd. It's going to be interesting to see what Lakota East does with their base runners. They are so aggressive, so it'll be very interesting to see right here if they start that guy at first to stay out of a double play.
Well, they're going to use a pinch runner out there now to see if they can't get a little more speed on the bases.
Well, they've already seen that Perrysburg is very capable of turning the double play. They turned 1, and then they looked brilliant on another one, even though they were shade late with it. So it may well be their thought. And maybe even send that runner and try to give the guy on third a chance to come in. Although with Raitt, they got an excellent hitter at the plate. They may not want to risk taking the bat out of his hands.
The other thing, guys, the infield at the corners they're playing in. They're playing deep, playing for that double play ball in the middle.
Yeah, they're taking a chance here that they can get out of this with 1 pitch. If it's hit to short or second, the corners can come home. They can check and get 1 someplace.
Rick, a couple different trains of thought there. You can play them and try for that double play, but if you don't turn that double play, that's another run scored as opposed to pulling the infield in.
Yeah, well, you know, if you open up the book, there are different ways that you can do it.
Right.
That's the one thing about baseball. There's more than one way to skin a cat in this game.
Pull them in and they can rope it right by you, but they might just get it pay off here. And they look like they had the sure inning-ending double play ball. And that's probably something that they probably haven't done all year long. A routine relay from Schmink to Schenk. Misfires. The run comes home. It looked like Perrysburg was out of trouble, and instead they're in that scalding hot water now.
Well, that was a classic case of knowing that they had to really turn that quickly. They didn't have any choice. As we were saying, this had to get done. Otherwise, another run's going to be scored. Yeah. And it was either somebody took an eye off the ball or some miscue someplace on the feet at second base. And because of that, another run crosses the plate, and they're still in hot water.
There's another hit by Corna into left field, and the bases are loaded with Thunderhawks. Thunderous claws going over on their end as now they really sense that they can move in for the kill as Mitch Gears coming up. For the 2nd time in the game, it looked like Perrysburg was going to get out of an inning with no damage, and instead a turn of events. Looked like Clowney might as well go down and sit down already when he was up in the 2nd inning, and he was down 0-2 to Krusel, who was just firing the ball by him, and he recovered, forced him to throw 7 fastballs, and then hit the last one into right field for the base hit. And then here it looked like, especially the way that double play combination had been performing all game long, it looked like that was a foregone conclusion that they were going to turn that double play, and instead another ill turn of fortune for Perrysburg.
Any ground ball, so this is very interesting that they're gambling once again and playing the infield back. I don't know. I'm no one to second guess Dave Hall, but it's very interesting.
I was wondering if it just doesn't have something to do with as quick as if they'd had the infield in on that ball hit to Schmenk, he would have never gotten to that ball because it was hit to his right as it was, and the ball gets through this infield so fast. That's a good point.
Yeah, because coming out of the box is a little bit slower. You have more of an opportunity to turn that double play. Now, a ground ball back to the pitcher, it's going, 1, 2, 3 double play, and that's what he's hoping for right here.
Yeah, well, either way, it's still a dice roll to have your shortstop and second baseman back.
They didn't even get one on that tailor-made double play before. That would make it less of a gamble had they at least been able to get that first out, and if they didn't turn the double play previously. Now it's a 3-1 count on Gears, and you can tell that this Thunderhawk crowd, they're just waiting for this big wallop that will really put Perrysburg down for the count. That one fouled out of play. They wouldn't even really have to worry about any final inning heroics if he comes up and delivers here.
Well, this is situational hitting. This when you're in the cages in preseason and every day at practice, you work on this every day. Runner at third base, less than 2 outs. Your job as a hitter, focus on the middle of the field and put it and play hard somewhere.
3-2, and it gets by Colby, and just be able to lope in to score. And it is a 5-0 game, and it appears the wheels coming off for Perrysburg. Runner gets to take the base anyway. So it really didn't make any difference, but nonetheless just sort of underscoring the really disaster that has struck here in this top of the 7th. Thompson didn't miss a third hit today by too much.
Well, starting off this inning, it was still a close ball game, still within reach for Perrysburg.
And now they got that 5 runs where they're going to need grand slam plus.
That's big. When you got, as you mentioned, the 4th one was big. And now this is probably just anything now is just gravy for Lakota. You know that they're smelling blood right now, and as you said, they're just looking for that really big wallop that is just going to send this crowd into a frenzy
I think
on that
even
side.
if they win this state championship, their fans are going to go home somewhat unfulfilled that they don't get to see the big wallop that they've been waiting for right now. It's like you win a boxing match on points, but you'd rather win it on a knockout. They're looking for the knockout punch right here. 1-2 to Craig Thompson. Unfortunate for Alex Williams, who looked like he pitched himself out of trouble. And there he gets a strike and sets him down. 2 out.
Well, that's a big strikeout right there. He doesn't put the ball in play, so there's no opportunity to add to that 5-run lead.
Well, no matter what you say, 5-0 isn't 7 or 8-0.
That's, well, exactly. I mean, you just got to, if you're Perrysburg, see that getting him to chase that pitch on the outside.
You go into that last, the 7th, down 7-0, or down 8-0. It really would take a miracle among miracles to get back, but 5 runs in high school baseball, that's certainly not unprecedented.
Absolutely not. Then they've come from behind before. Oh, I think he hit him. You didn't want to give him one there. They've given a couple of runs here on a walk and a hit batsman, which really hurts your chances to mount a comeback. Every additional run here that you add to the scoreboard, that pitch rides inside.
Evans coming up now. Look at the bottom 5 of the batting order. Thompson has produced a double and scored 2 runs in the 6th spot. 7th, Wilder. Single, he's been hit and walked, so he's 3 for 4 in terms of reaching base. Evans, a big RBI single in 3 trips. And Kalani, biggest of all, 2 for 3, 2 RBIs. Single in the 3rd inning, or 2nd inning, which was really huge in the game. Plus he scored after doubling his last trip. They're close to batting around this inning. No one seemed to get Colby up high in the mask. 0-2. Perrysburg seems quite deflated at the moment, as you might well expect, although they're going to fight right to the end. Here's a look at that.
Oh yeah,
it get him right there.
Yeah, it nipped the side of that mask, and that gives you a little bit of a jolt.
Swing and a miss as he pulled the string. Innings over. Perrysburg's got to get 5 runs or bust here in the state final game.
This is who we are. Built in Toledo. Made in Toledo. 2 successful teams, the University of Toledo and Grogan's Town Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram. Winners are made in Toledo.
We're proud to be part of Toledo, Ohio.
We'd like to introduce you to more. With more than 230 undergraduate majors and programs, the University of Toledo has a degree for you. And with more real-world experience through internships and research and more scholarship money, we make college an affordable investment. Plus, UT's proud tradition of Division I athletics and our beautiful campus mean a more fulfilling college experience. There are simply more reasons to create your future at the University of Toledo. Schedule a personalized visit to see and learn more.
Perrysburg fans are set for a last stand. Actually 6 runs or bust, as they picked up 3 in the top of the 7th.
Now, what a nice ovation, though, Greg, as they came off the field. Perrysburg fans all together standing up and giving them a standing ovation as they came off the field from an inning that couldn't have been worse from the player's standpoint. But the fans showing their appreciation for a season that has brought a lot of joy and happiness and a lot of victories and a trip to this state final game.
And one of the most unforgettable moments of all time in that semifinal victory. And I'm sure that even absent a miraculous comeback, we're going to hear another such round of applause emanating from the Perrysburg fans at the conclusion of this game. But Ryan Young leading things off. It's not over yet. Swung on and missed. Strike 1.
Well, you know that they've been here before. It's a tall task, but they've experienced come from behind wins several times this season, and there's no reason to expect that they're not going to give their utmost effort here to try to do it again.
And that ball is well hit and through to center field. Young shows that Perrysburg isn't ready to throw in the towel just yet.
Well, you know that's the case. They're not throwing in the towel. They're going to go down fighting. There's a base hit on this hard infield. Greg, this infield just scoots when you hit the ball hard on the ground.
That is the 8th hit. They are losing 6-0, but they're out hitting Lakota East 8-7. 3 errors, however, have hurt their cause, and all year long, Perrysburg's real strength has been their defensive play. Mark Dellis, one of the co-heroes from the semifinal victory, is on deck as pitch outside. 2-0 now to Kevin Schenk.
Yeah, this game is full of irony, isn't it, Greg? Lakota's bottom of the order, the part of the order that you wouldn't suspect, has done a lot of the damage. Perrysburg, there's one of their strengths, their defense, and it's been their Achilles heel today.
Plus, of course, that base running gaff in the 3rd when they got the runner picked off at the worst possible time. Murphy's Law was certainly in effect there. And one inning where they strung together some hits and still came up empty.
This game has been filled with the unexpected.
And mostly that unexpected has been in favor of Lakota East, but there is a walk. And the first 2 runners are on board. Perrysburg first, they'll think about trying to break up the shutout. And Mark Dellis comes to the plate, and he is the freshman who played JV ball. And as the fans still applauding and giving as much encouragement as they can. Freshman who played JV ball was 0 for 2. He had 2 at-bats all season long. Sent him up in a huge clutch situation in the last of the 7th in the state semifinal, and he delivered a ground rule double that set the table for Garbick's game-winning clout. And the interesting thing, we talked to him about the game and said, how nervous were you coming up? And as it turns out, he's from a great baseball family. His father played professional ball in the Tigers organization. He's a great competitor, Coach Hall was saying, and he had every confidence that Dellis could deliver, and Mark basically said the same thing, especially because he saw the pitcher was weakening. Swung on and missed there, and no balls and 1 strike. Unfortunately, this pitcher does not appear to be weakening.
No, 86 on that fastball, just right where he was at the beginning of the ball game.
I'm going to try second base for a pickoff.
That would be the absolute last thing you would want if you were Perrysburg.
That would just about put the cap on, well, less than propitious day. Outside, 1-1.
Now, you know, Perrysburg at least wants to dent the scoreboard here, Greg. They don't want to be shut out.
Dellis, and that's the same kind of ball from yesterday that Garbick hit, and it's off the fence. And he chugs into second base. Only 1 run will score. No reason to risk it. And he's pumped.
He's very pumped. And well, he should, and so are the Perrysburg fans.
They're not out of this yet. Another thing about Dellis, Coach was saying he came up to pinch hit in that St. John's game, that classic pitching battle against Jesse Adams. Fouled off 6 balls and really hung in there against a pitcher who was really on his game, and that was another reason for the confidence, and he has once more shown his mettle here.
Well, he picked on a fastball. He got it up in the upper part of the zone, was able to get on top of it and just drilled it off the wall in right center field.
That was almost exactly the way Garbick hit the game winner.
See where this pitch is? See that kind of up in the zone? Just above the belt. He said, hey, I got a hold of that one.
Well, so they're not going to be shut out. And a standing ovation for Dellis. Tony Bojanowski coming on to pinch run, but Dellis has provided yet another exciting moment. One for the road here. And now Schmenk is up. And the way he's been swinging the bat, he could knock in 2 runs, get on base. The tying run would be on deck with nobody out in the top of the batting order.
Well, that's a key point here. They've turned the order over. They are able to get to the top of the order here. This is what they had to do in the semifinal game.
And Schmenk fouls it off. Could it happen again?
Well, sure it could.
With a 6-0 game instead of a 2-run game, that would be almost contrary to reality.
They've done this before. So they have the confidence. It's
fouled that one off. Here's where you look for Evan Hills. Jordan was mentioning how composed he's been out there on the mound the whole game. And this is where you have to really show that quality. 0-2 up high. But you got to keep it going if you're Perrysburg right now.
Yeah, there's no margin for error here. It's get on base. Every man that comes to the plate.
Well, walk here and 1 swing of the bat could make it a 1-run ball game with nobody out.
As you said, that's what they need to do. Get that tying run to the plate.
That ball is hit high in the air. That could be trouble. And finally, the center fielder Jesse Raitt comes on and caught it. No tag up, and again, no reason to tag up because that run is meaningless. But there was just a split second of desperation that you saw between Craig Thompson, the second baseman, going out, realizing he wouldn't get it and hoping that Raitt would, and he did.
Yeah, that ball just kept carrying in. I don't know whether we're behind home plate, and it does feel like the breeze is in our face, so maybe now that the ball's being pushed back towards the infield.
Garbick with one out.
Guys, how about the decision here to leave the pitcher in? He's at 110 pitches right now into the 7th inning.
Yeah, and I noticed too that they have no action in the bullpen. Earlier they had their ace down there, the left-hander, throwing. Now nothing. Looks like they're gonna ride the Rapids with him.
Can we say Pedro Martinez in the 03 playoffs?
Well, if we get another base hit here, we could maybe be talking about it.
We were talking about that yesterday, how there was that where it backfired in the 64 World Series. Johnny Keane stuck with Bob Gibson when he was in trouble, but he said, I had faith in his heart. And he ended up winning it, and everybody thought it was a great managerial move. And I guess they've got faith in Evan Hills right now.
Right now, Perrysburg needs to come up with a big hit.
And Garbick, if he got it, that would be 2 days in a row, although this wouldn't be the ultimate one, but certainly it would be huge. Ball and 2 strikes, though. Hills has been pitching ahead in the count last 2 critical batters. Ground ball foul again.
Well, Garbick hanging tough, fouling off the good pitches. And he's making Hills work here, Greg. When he did that the other day, he found that fastball that in the middle of the plate. Now there's a nice move. Now I wish perhaps that maybe they would have done that sooner in the game. Ask for timeout just when he's getting to go in his set position, getting ready to pitch, and break his focus and his momentum a little bit, because he's just been too comfortable out there in the middle of the diamond.
If the umpire grants it to you at that point.
That's right. You have to ask.
1-2. That ball is hit well. That'll be deep enough to score the run, but again, that is really inconsequential at this point, although it'll make it look better on the scoreboard. And a sac fly to center field for Garbick, and it is a 6-2 game.
There's a little controversy here. As that run crossed the plate, the runner made contact with the catcher, and the catcher took offense to it, and so did the other coach, and they're discussing it with the umpires, and they're saying that the catcher was at fault, that the catcher got in the way of the runner, and they're not very happy about that call.
The thing about it as a catcher, I just calmed down and realized, hey, we're 1 out from the state championship here. Oh yeah.
Well, the catcher kind of leaned towards the runner. I'm not so sure.
Yeah, it's hard to say. I think
that was kind of inconsequential. I didn't see either. I didn't see either player make any aggressive move towards either one myself. It was incidental contact. Let's play ball.
Matt Krusel, the last hope. He was hoping to win it with his arm. Now he's got to try to keep it going with his bat. And again, Hills gets ahead in the count with that first pitch breaking ball that we've seen so often today.
Well, you take a look at that top of this 7th inning, Greg, when Lakota came up with 3 big runs to push that lead to 6-0. Perrysburg coming back here with 2 runs.
0-1, and another well-placed breaking pitch. And again, it's 0-2.
Krusel didn't like the call on that one. He thought it was inside, but Hills has been going to that breaking pitch a lot. The catcher, the
ground ball up the middle. That'll get through. Again, no need whatsoever to bring the runner. Dave Hall was saying, hold on, the ball gets by, but again, he's not going to have him score because it doesn't matter.
It doesn't mean it, yeah. I'm going to say it doesn't mean anything, and don't take that literally. It does mean something, but right now it does not mean anything.
If they're going to win the game, that run will come home.
Yes, that's right.
And there's no reason to risk having the out at the plate.
Exactly.
When it's not important in that sense. He'll come home in good time if they hit him in.
Well, he hesitated too anyway. As that ball went past the pitcher, he hesitated, and at that point he was not going to be able to score anyway. But that's fine, because you can't take any chances on the bases.
Dave Hall was halfway down the line. He was signaling hold up before he even got to third base.
Absolutely.
And then again when the ball was thrown by. And that ball is hit by Colby. A great diving stop by Thompson.
Safe. Oh, no.
And that is it.
Oh,
Greg
my goodness.
Thompson for the second time, a brilliant defensive play to spike a Perrysburg rally.
There's going to be an appeal here.
They're going to appeal down to say maybe he pulled him off the bag.
They're going to ask the home plate umpire to help him out.
Well, this would be odd if they had to break up from that.
Well, they're going to have to get the table off the field. Oh, they're leaving the field. The umpires are leaving the field.
They're saying that's it.
They won't even ask. Oh, that's.
They're not going to tell them.
I want to see this again.
Get out of that pile and play again after you think you won the championship. Here it is.
Well, that's a great play right there. I mean, that's a great play. But right here, the throw draws the first baseman off the bag, and his foot comes off the bag and does not get to the base. He's safe by a mile.
And there's no doubt that the first baseman realized that he was off the bag because he made that desperate attempt to touch it.
Well, he came off the bag and far. It's not even close.
I don't know, because from that angle, I thought that the first baseman attempted to touch it again really quick, but by that angle, he was just falling backwards, and maybe he was pulled up, but maybe he had the ball in his glove beforehand. At any rate, a very controversial play, but Lakota East certainly fully deserving of the victory, and another great defensive play by that second baseman at a key time. Let's take a break. Harrisburg comes up second place in the state.
This is who we are. Built in Toledo. Made in Toledo. Two successful teams, the University of Toledo and Grogan's Town Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram. Winners are made in Toledo.
We're proud to be part of Toledo, Ohio.
Coming to a metro park near you. A summer adventure of enormous fun. Your mission, to find various landmarks in the 9 metro parks. For a chance at winning great prizes. Keep your eyes peeled for the Great Park Search. Starting June 6th at a metro park near you.
Relive exciting moments in local sports all over again with DVDs from BCSN. They make great gifts or add them to your personal highlight collection. Log on to bcsn.tv or call 419-724-BCSN for ordering information. BCSN is seen exclusively on Buckeye Cable System.
Don't settle for dinner and a movie this weekend. Have some fun at the all-new Raceway Park.
Come on out to Raceway Park for our 5th annual Party at the Park concert series this Saturday. Party at the Park features the best local bands playing your favorite music all night long. The party starts at 5:30 and keeps going into the night. Get your friends together and come on out for great music, delicious food, and special prices on your favorite drinks this Saturday.
Raceway Park, the best bet in Toledo.
Hi, I'm Marianne Ballas, inviting you to visit us at BallasBuickGMC.com. Our new and used vehicle inventory is current and ready to browse with credit applications available for pre-approval. Make a service appointment, view our accessories catalog, or make a parts inquiry. Our site is easy to navigate and you can shop 24/7, 365 without pressure. Shop Ballas Buick GMC. World-class cars and trucks, world-class website.
Number 6. Look at that line score. Perrysburg, 10 hits, 2 runs. Lakota East, 7 hits, 6 runs. And that's the difference right there, is timely hitting and making the most of your opportunities. But both times when Perrysburg had chances for big innings, that second baseman, Craig Thompson, stepped up, made a big play to spike them, and that was the difference.
Yes, and both times he got the balls that we just didn't think he was going to be able to get to. So a real good job with his glove there at second base. And that's and as we always said, that's the key to success, is the good pitching, good defense, and timely hitting. And they got good timely hitting from a part of the lineup that you weren't expecting it to come from.
Perrysburg getting their second place medals. Let's take a look. We've just been talking about it, the Central Catholic big play of the game, the final play. Now Thompson had already made a similar play like this early in a big situation. Here, a tremendous dive to his right. He had to really rifle the ball. The question is, was the first baseman on the bag or not? The officials, the umpires, resolutely left the field. They were not going to entertain any discussion about it. But no matter how you slice it at first base, that was just a tremendous play by Thompson at second.
Yes, and you know that had that play not been made, that would have brought the tying run to the plate. And again, we talked about how Perrysburg just has that confidence that they can come back. You would think that Lakota really would have been reeling at that point, and who knows what would have happened had play been continuing here.
Oh, especially after what happened in the previous game. They might have been nearing panic mode. They're Lakota East. Commissioner from the OSHA office congratulating the teams and giving Dave Hall the second place trophy.
Well, it certainly is a tremendous effort, tremendous season. Just getting here, you know, so many teams. They're the last two Division I teams left in the state. Nobody else is playing ball but these guys, and Perrysburg is one of them. So that's a great, you know, that's something to really be proud of, and I'm glad that they're, you know, hoisting that trophy with a lot of pride, and as well they should.
Yeah, it's certainly been an outstanding year when you think about it. A state championship in volleyball, a state championship in tennis that we just had, in ice hockey, and this close to a baseball championship. Who knows, we still might have one in Southeast Michigan, but a tremendous year. And those Perrysburg fans, as we said, they were going to have an appreciative round of applause after this game, and it didn't matter whether they won or lost. They earned every bit of it.
Oh yeah, a great contingent here, and they certainly you know, brought a lot of enthusiasm here, and it's great that they're honoring these players for a great season that they had. A great season for Coach Hall and the Perrysburg Yellow Jackets.
But unfortunately, they lose 6-2 to Lakota East in the final game, and that will do it. For Rick Poland and Jordan Strachan, our crew, Greg Franke saying so long. BCSN HD brought to you by Nationwide Auto Finance, the biggest zero-interest lot in the region for everyone. You're watching BCSN, seen exclusively on Buckeye Cable System. You can't get this on AT&T or with a dish.
Great education is about opportunity. Opportunity to become all you can be. Toledo Christian schools inspire academic and personal growth. We're large enough to offer dynamic opportunities, but small enough to guarantee personal attention and excellence in a vibrant Christian atmosphere. Find out why a Toledo Christian education is right for you.
See for yourself on our website. Visit ToledoChristian.com.
Toledo Christian Schools, building strong minds and strong faith.
Want a better way to track what you spend? PNC Virtual Wallet now comes with Spending Zone. It organizes all your spending, including your PNC debit card, credit card, and your bills, so you can view them by category or by month. You can set a budget, and it'll even alert you when you're getting close to the amount you've set and when you've gone over. Spending Zone is built to help you keep better track of your spending. Experience everything Virtual Wallet has to offer at pncvirtualwallet.com. PNC Bank, for the achiever in you.
And the Rockets have snapped their 12-game losing streak.
Thank you for watching BCSN, your eye on local sports.
Now our coverage can be seen online at bcsn.tv.
Enjoy local sports from any computer in the world, anytime. Log on now.
Sick of having to wait until 11:15 for Friday night basketball highlights? Why wait until after the news for highlights when you can get them first with the T-Sports Report? Local sports fans still need more? Then be sure to visit us on the web at bcsn.tv. Stay up to date on your favorite teams, BCSN programs, and access more exclusive video content than ever before. You can even watch streaming video with BCSN Vision. Get even more from BCSN online at bcsn.tv. BCSN is seen exclusively on Buckeye Cable System. You can't get this with a dish.
Welcome to Monroe High School in Monroe, Michigan. Bedford Kicking Mules taking on the Lincoln Rail Splitters here in this district semifinal. Glad to have you along, everyone. Matt Melzak alongside Kevin Breckmacher. And Kevin, this is the district semifinal. They'll play the district final right after. As a matter of fact, so should Bedford win, they would take on Saline after this one. But get Dan Prezini going today on the mound for Bedford against the Lincoln squad. Comes in at 500, but a very good team. Let's take a look at their batting order.
Yeah, Lincoln, a very good team in their batting order here. Spalding, Holly, Dunlap, Vigano, Brewer, O'Brien, Simmons, Hart, and Van Horn. This is a team that has some power, and the wind is blowing out today here. Both coaches were kind of concerned with the pitching, but the wind is blowing out. We saw a few home runs in the first game today, Saline and Belleville, and the winner of this game will take on the Saline Hornets in the district final. But Bedford's thinking, hey, beautiful day outside for baseball. Let's play two, and hopefully they can get it done. But kind of an odd thing, you know, in the state of Michigan, you play the semifinal of the district, and then right afterwards, you have about a 20-minute break, you'll play the final.
That's right. Tyler